It is so good to see everybody here. Welcome. Tuesday night is our night. Tuesday night is about the future. Tuesday night is about the next gen. Tuesday night is about NXT. And we're here, we're live, we're watching NXT, and you might feel my throat, my voice sounds a little different, because it is. Because what happened was that over WrestleMania weekend, which perhaps was an amazing weekend, perhaps one of the most successful weekends for anybody out there. We had a tremendous growth. Our family got better by about five folds, got bigger by about five folds, and here we are watching NXT. I mean, WrestleMania was such a special night, such a special occasion. I went out there 3 nights, for 12 hours each, every single night. And we did 12 hours, 48 hours live, watchalongs, live streams, and there was a lot of talking involved. And since the matches were so good, there was also a lot of screaming and a lot of chanting and cheering involved. And what happens when you have all that craziness involved is that results in a loss of your voice for a day. So today my voice is back. It's not 100%, but it's back. And you know what that means. We're here for some fun. We're here to watch NXT, and we're here to have a good time. I missed all of you last night. We had an amazing Raw after WrestleMania. I mean, Weird Bahan came back. We had Elias, young brother of Elias, come back as Ezekiel. And we had some craziness going on last night. Of course, we had Bron Breakker retaining his NXT Championship. So a lot of stuff happened last night. Perhaps one of the most happening Raw after WrestleManias was last night. That was definitely special. And I can see everybody here. I can see Jonathan. I can see Gary, Jamie, Bobby, my brother, Jared, Lawrence. Good to see everybody. Everybody is looking good as always. Too Sweet Pistol Pete. I'm so happy and thrilled to see everybody. And I'm doing well, Lawrence. I'm doing well. And it's only my voice that's not doing so well, but that's okay, because you are the voice of the voiceless. Even though my voice isn't 100%, you are my voice, aren't you? Alright, so we're going to be having a lot of fun. Let's see how NXT turns out to be, because tonight we're going to be seeing the return of the new and two-time NXT Champion, that is Bron Breakker. Let's see how that all goes down tonight. But I can see Jonathan here says, big up AJ, big up everybody in the chat. We're all good. We're all recharged. So ready, brother, so ready. And look who else is recharged. Man looks happy. This is Bron Breakker. I mean, after WrestleMania weekend, I thought, okay, so it's going to be a bit of a struggle for Bron Breakker to retain his NXT title. And we're definitely not seeing him on Tuesday with that gold. But he does the unthinkable. He shows up on Raw and he wins back what truly belongs to him. He brings back the NXT Championship. And look at him making his entrance right now on Tuesday night NXT as the NXT World Champion. And let's talk about how beautiful of a weekend he had, inducting his father, his uncle into the Hall of Fame, a big stand and deliver match, a big Raw after WrestleMania match. I mean, this is great. And I can see everybody. Jared, good to see you. Lawrence, my brother. Too Sweet Pistol Pete. Tony, good to see you. It's NXT time all the time. That's right. And Renegade, good to see you, brother. That's right. Congratulations to Bron Breakker. Absolutely. Jake, good to see you. Ricky, I'm doing good. I missed you too. My voice, not 100%, but we're here. We're rolling. We're having a lot of fun. Lawrence says, Raw wasn't bad. Veerman finally made his debut. So good. Jason, yeah, man, I was looking for it yesterday. I was trying to reach out to everybody to let them know that my voice is not working. Will not be here for Raw. But good to see you, Jason. I see you have a question for RO. Okay. I'm going to be taking that in a second, but first let's listen to Bron Breakker and see what does he have to say here. Alright, so the fans are here chanting, "We want Ziggler." Interesting. So what Bron Breakker is saying that this past weekend I had the pleasure and the honor of inducting my father and uncle into the Hall of Fame, which we spoke about just a few seconds ago. An absolute honor. For a son, for a nephew, that is the absolute honor. Yep.
I did not get the job done. I'm not going to make excuses for myself, but the very same day, I got the opportunity to go to WrestleMania for the first time and watch great superstars like Bianca Belair.
So wait a second. So what Bron Breakker is saying, that he went to WrestleMania for the first time this past weekend? So you telling me, as a wrestling fan, or growing up in a wrestling family, he never attended WrestleMania ever? That is interesting for sure. That's interesting.
Two things. One, I'm gonna headline WrestleMania one day.
Wow.
Two, I'm not leaving Dallas, Texas without our NXT Championship.
Alright, so he makes a proclamation right there. He says, my aim, my goal is to headline WrestleMania one day. Which, a Breakker, a Steiner, this guy himself, it looks like that could very well be possible. It looks like we could very well be seeing him headlining WrestleMania in about 2 to 3 years from now. I think he could be the guy. He could be the main event of WrestleMania very, very soon.
Championship back where it belongs.
There we go. And he says that oh my gosh, this is great. This is what I was hoping would happen. Alright, so he's talking about how the NXT title is where it belongs. And I'm so glad it's happening because Gunther, along with his friends, is coming out right now. The Imperium is walking down the ramp. You talk about Ziggler, you talk about Ciampa, you talk about all the competition that Bron Breakker has been through so far. Nothing comes close to Gunther. Gunther is a different animal altogether. I've been talking about how much I want a match between Gunther and Brock Lesnar in the future. So to see Gunther actually coming out with his band right now, with his eyes on the prize, with his eyes on the gold, is actually pretty good. Gunther versus Bron Breakker, it sounds like a good idea to me. Let's see.
We had a great weekend, it seems, but nobody cares about that.
He says nobody cares if you had a good weekend. Nobody cares about that. All we care about is that title, and all Gunther cares about is that title because he wants it.
In NXT, the issue is you cannot call yourself the best until you step in the ring with the General Gunther.
This reminds me, Ric Flair once said that to beat the man, you gotta beat the man. And that's what Gunther is saying right now. You cannot call yourself the best until you step into the ring with the best, and that is Gunther. Let's see if Bron Breakker accepts the challenge. So far, he's so speechless. He's not saying a word, raises his title up. We could be seeing a match. Tonight? I don't know. They're not talking about it. Oh, okay. Look at that. The Creed brothers coming out, and we go to a very abrupt commercial. So Gunther in the ring, the rest of the Imperium steps out, Bron Breakker raises his title up, and the Creed brothers come out, and now we have a Pizza Hut commercial. Are you kidding me? But anyways, good to see everybody here. I see Bobby, Ricky, Jamie, Dale, Lawrence, Tony, Renegade, Greg, everybody. So good to see you. I'm going to be taking on all the comments. True. Good to see you. Alright, let's take a look at the comments. Jason says, AJ, I have a question for you. Is ROH over with all the ROH titles being on AEW Sports Entertainers? Is ROH officially over? I think it is over. Just like what happened to WCW in 2001. This is interesting, Jason, because I've been talking about it ever since Samoa Joe made his debut on ROH. And they actually posted a graphic of Samoa Joe being all elite. Every single ROH star, every single ROH personality so far is all elite. And this is the question that I've been asking to all of you ever since we saw that. Is ROH over? What is going on with that? Is it so that, every single ROH star is actually an AEW star? And they will make crossovers, do ROH a favor once in a while by stepping in there. So far, Jason, it seems like ROH might not be fully over, but it might be, a second project. Until they have it figured out, until they know what to do with it, it's a second project, which they're going to be using its tape library for, and that's about it. But ROH, I don't think is over, because Tony Khan has made some comments which make it feel like ROH is not over. During the media scrum, when Tony Khan was asked about the possibility of bringing Maria Kanellis over to look after the ROH women's roster, the division, and he said it could be a possibility and they could be reaching out. So making comments like these, it actually proves that ROH is not over yet. If it's supposed to be over in the future, we can't tell, but so far, not all hope is lost. Not all hope is lost so far. And Ricky says, I just made you hot tea. Thank you, Ricky. And I actually took, I don't know who suggested this to me, but somebody during the Watchalong suggested lemon tea. So I'm actually drinking lemon tea right now while doing the Watchalongs. Because I do a lot of Watchalongs now, talk a lot. It's important to take care of the throat, which I wasn't taking good care of so far, but now I have to take care of it. And Ricky says, AJ, how are you feeling about Veer last night on Raw? Ricky, great question. It was good to finally see him. I think he's a powerhouse. And so far from what I've heard, I did an interview with Jinder Mahal. We spoke off camera as well. It seems like Veer could be the next top guy. The plan is to keeping him on Raw for at least now and see how he does on Raw. And if he does well, if the whole Veer Mahan project goes well, we could be seeing him as a world champion in 2 to 3 years from now. WrestleMania 39 is around the corner now. It's next year. And they've got some big plans for it. So most likely not champion by then. But soon after Mania, we could be seeing Veer Mahan as world champion if things go as planned. And we could be seeing him carrying the mid-card titles for now, for sure. So Veer Mahan, on Raw is a good idea. And I know that they are high on him, definitely. As they were high on Bianca Belair about a year or 2 years from now, that's Veer Mahan right now. They see him as a star, and they want to invest into him, and he's going to go out there. And Jonathan, good to see you. Thank you for the support, brother. Bobby says Samoa Joe is wrestling on AEW Dark tomorrow. That's right. AEW Dynamite, Samoa Joe is going to be there, and that really makes you wonder. ROH stars appearing on AEW. No word on the ROH shows. What is happening? The future looks uncertain. Very good question posed by Jonathan earlier. It does look very uncertain. There's a lot of questions in the air when it comes to ROH. And speaking of questions, the questions have been answered about that very abrupt ending. Because now that we can see, it is the Imperium, the two guys from the Imperium, and of course the Creed brothers tag team match right now happening in front of very eyes. 4-man tag team. So Gunther and Bron Breakker have stepped away from the ring. We don't know if we're going to be seeing a Gunther versus Bron Breakker match tonight, or could we be seeing it in a future special event. But it does seem like Gunther versus Breakker is the feud for now, and I'm in for it. I think it's a good idea. Let me know if you do as well. And Jamie says, hey AJ, you need to look at the message I sent on Instagram. Let's say one member of NXT. Oh dear, that is not nice. That is true. You know what's going to happen. The guy's going to get punished. I'm going to check it out, Jamie. Thanks for letting me know. Check it out in a bit. And Ricky says 7 for 10 for Raw last night. That's interesting. Everybody, let me know how would you rate last night's Raw. Of course, we saw, Veer Mahan there. We saw the debut of Elias's younger brother. It was interesting for sure. So let me know how would you rate last night's Raw. Dale says, half fans saying want Ziggler and the other half saying no, we don't want Ziggler. That's a very good pick. And Dale, what this means is that Ziggler's time on NXT is over. Now that we're entering a new feud for Bron Breakker, Ziggler is in the rearview mirror. It is apparent that we will be seeing a new superstar from Monday Night Raw appearing on NXT very, very soon. And Dale with the breaking news right there, he says it is official. Bron Breakker versus Gunther for the NXT title will be happening. Renegade says, AJ, Bron Breakker said tonight. So we will be seeing, thank you for that guys, we will be seeing Bron Breakker versus Gunther for the NXT Championship, and we will be seeing the match happening tonight. That is awesome. That's great. And this is a solid tag team going on right now. Good stuff. And True says Raw was a 5. So that's a very sad rating for Raw after Mania. Remember the time, the craziness where Raw after Mania perhaps used to be better than Mania? A lot of people would argue. And now we're seeing Raw after Mania get a rating of R7 or 6, as Renegade says right now, or even 5. That's sad. So they gotta figure it out, because Raw after Mania should be special. And from the ratings, from the way the ratings look right now, it doesn't sound very, very special. And Bobby says, I don't even watch Raw last night. I watched That's right. You know what? I didn't watch Raw with all of you, so I didn't want to tune in either. I mean, it's not fun watching any wrestling show without the family, so, it wasn't fun. You guys were awesome. And Greg, good to see you. Lauren says, Cody was so emotional last night on Raw. Was a great promo. I did catch up on the promo. The little Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes hug. So Kevin Owens, from what I remember, was the guy who, back when Cody was Stardust, suggested to Cody Rhodes to do a round on the Indies before coming back to the WWE. So last night when we saw Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens hug in the ring, it was very emotional, very real, because, these guys are actually, they go way back. It was full circle for them because Kevin told him, hey, take a round on the Indies, see if it works out, and then come back. And Cody Rhodes did do a round of the Indies, did big things in AEW, and came back. It all worked out, so it was all full circle last night for the two of them. Gunther vs. Bron Breakker for the NXT Championship. I love it. Gunther will win, says Jason. Now, did Bron Breakker win the championship only to drop it to Gunther? I hope he did, because Gunther is world champion. I'm in for it. I will love that. Absolutely love that. Grega, good to see you. True says Walter wants the gold. That's right. Walter, Gunther, he wants the gold, and I want him to get the gold that he wants. Anna J and Ruby Soho team last night on Diamante and Ashley DeMoise on AEW Dark Elevation. Bobby, that is beautiful. Amazing. Good stuff. And Bobby, I know you want me to do the NWA shows. I'll tell you, I'll probably be doing it from next week because, once the throat gets better, we're going to be doing more shows. AJ called it MVP turning on Lashley. That's right, true. I saw it. I saw it on Raw. I'm like, I don't know if WWE, saw a video of the Watchalong where I called it, or if they came up with this creative genius, because that is genius. Omos is a monster, and he could definitely use somebody like Paul Heyman, somebody like MVP in his corner. I think it's going to work out for the better for him. I mean, Lashley definitely enjoyed the company of, MVP, and they both together as a team was wonders, right? They did great. But Omos is the one who needs help right now. Lashley, he's got charisma. He can go on the mic, so he's good. And Moons is here. He says, is it just me, or does NWA stage look like awesome? Moons, good to see you, Moons22. And I agree. The NXT stage, it's grown on me. At first, I was like, I don't know, maybe it's too short, too small, the roof's too low, I don't know if it's too pink, I don't know about the studio audience, but I like it, I dig it. And I was speaking with Aiden English not too long ago. You guys can look up the interview if you haven't already, and we were talking about NXT, the colorful 2.0 NXT, and he said, look, AJ, not everything in this world needs to be dark and black and blue and yellow. Things can be colorful and things can be different, they can be nice and unique. And I think NXT 2.0, I like it better. And I probably will get some heat for it. But I like the presentation better than the black and the yellow. And I'll probably get some heat for it, that's for sure. But I like the whole appeal to it. It attracts me a lot. In a weird way. It's too many colors. And for a wrestling show, too many colors is not a tradition. So it definitely stands out, it sticks out, and it also speaks the future, because the future is bright, and the future is colorful, and the future, as we know, is NXT 2.0. And it's so good to see everybody here. Tony says, Ricky, how the hell is Raw bad when they had 2.1 million viewers? There you go. Pierce is here. Pierce, what is up, family? Good to see you, Pierce. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying NXT 2.0 so far, because the Imperium is going strong, and they're going strong on the Creed Brothers. The Creed Brothers trying their luck right now once again, but it's not working out. It hasn't worked out for a while. And again, we don't know who attacked the Creed Brothers. I think it was Jason, or was it somebody, who had predicted that we could be seeing Creed Brothers attackers being revealed at Stand and Deliver. But that didn't happen. We still don't know who is the new Retribution. Which faction is behind the attack of the Creed Brothers? We still have to get the answers to those questions. Raw had the biggest viewers since the last 2 years, says Tony. And I guess the reason why Raw had such tremendous viewership last night was mainly because of how fantastic WrestleMania was. Yes, WrestleMania had its lows, it has its highs, but WrestleMania overall as a show, I think it did very well. And WWE went out there to make sure that the fans were happy. I mean, bringing back Stone Cold for a match, they didn't need to do that, but they did. Vince McMahon getting in the ring for a little pop right there, for a little nostalgia. They didn't have to do that, but they did it. So they did stuff. They went over and above their Call of Duty a little bit to make the fans happy, and I appreciate that. WrestleMania was good. Cody Rhodes coming back definitely helped the Raw ratings as well. It was a good show overall. It was a good show. And Gary says that was a sad Raw after WrestleMania, but then again, it wasn't a greatest of WrestleMania, says Gary. That's I can agree to some point. I mean, everybody is entitled to their own, feelings about the shows. I had some low points too at WrestleMania, right? I mean, there were some matches where I was like, maybe this is a bit of a stretch, especially that New Day match, right? I was like, this shouldn't be on WrestleMania. We could be having a fantastic Ricochet match for the IC title, or a Finn Balor match. Hell, if you don't want to give those two their own spotlights, they could have a champion versus champion match, Ricochet versus Finn Balor, IC versus US champion at WrestleMania, instead of the whole New Day versus Ridge Holland and Sheamus match. So there were some points where I too was complaining at WrestleMania, but overall, we had a good time, had a fantastic time. And Moon says, I wonder why there wasn't a watch along for Raw yesterday. Moons, if you can hear, my throat doesn't sound the way it does, right? So I tried to reaching out to everybody. I don't know if I think I messaged you as well. I don't know if I could trace your, I think I messaged to your Moose21 account. But yes, my throat gave up yesterday. I couldn't talk after the fantastic weekend we had with WrestleMania, where we were live for about literally 3 weekends in a row. We were live 12 hours on Friday, 12 hours Saturday, and Saturday we didn't go off. We stayed live for the rest of the 48 hours until Sunday got over. So it was a lot of talking, and I loved it. I really liked it, and it paid off. So it was good. And Drew says Cody cut the same promo he's been cutting for years. That's right, Drew. No doubt about that. Picture-in-picture break, that's right, Shawn Michaels. And I've heard that Triple H is in charge of NXT tonight, or at least he's back working with NXT tonight. If that is true, that's amazing. It's good to see him, and it's good to know that he's back at work. I mean, we saw Triple H night one of WrestleMania, and I couldn't help but notice how thin he was. Is going on here, by the way. What is going on here? Julius is putting the pain on Martez because his partner from the Imperium has actually left him. There's only one guy, Martez for Imperium, actually in the ring right now, and he's been put through a lot of pain. This guy has been betrayed of what's happening here, but the Imperium, a very untouchable force, a very unstoppable force on NXT, it seems like there's some confusion, miscommunication going on, and they are possibly going their own separate ways. That is crazy. I never knew that we could be seeing the end of Imperium like that, and especially before such an important match for Gunther. I guess this is a sign of things to come, and I guess this is how Gunther is not gonna win tonight. This could be it. We will find out, but for now, because of that whole miscommunication, the Creed brothers actually pick up a win, which also very crucial for them because they have been on the receiving end of a lot of losses lately. So this win is definitely important for them for sure. We're looking at the recap right now. So Fabian Aichner, he just walks away from the ring. He leaves his partner in the ring alone to defend for himself, which of course he could not because he was down and he was out. So Fabian walked down on him. Poor guy was bleeding from his eyes. Left alone to defend for himself. It didn't happen. He lost the match. Imperium lost the match to the Creed brothers. What does the future hold for Creed brothers is the question right now. I believe we'll get the answers to it eventually, but for now, lots and lots. Wait a second. We now know. Wait a second. Okay. Retribution is here. That's right, Jason. Retribution is here. That's right. Who could this be? Whoa. That is right. A lot of people coming over from the United Kingdom. This is I believe, former tag team champions from NXT UK. I don't know if they were champions or not, but definitely a tag team in NXT UK. And they have come down to NXT 2.0. And Tony, you're right, NXT UK indeed. They largely come over from NXT UK, and They are here, I believe, as like a new retribution. They're here to attack the Creed brothers, go after them. Interesting, right? It's interesting. Okay, so they're here, and this is not the first ever, crossover from NXT UK, because not too long ago, I believe a couple weeks ago, we saw the A-Kid making his crossover from NXT UK, and we saw Roderick Strong actually moving over from NXT to NXT UK, appearing over there. So we're seeing a lot of crossovers between the two brands, which is pretty interesting because it's not just, two brands, it's two different countries. So it's interesting how they operate there. And right now we're seeing a backstage interview with the Toxic Attraction.
Every time I see them with our NXT tag team title.
Of course, we're seeing the Toxic Attraction looking as good as ever, but looking less golden as ever, because Mandy Rose is the only one with the gold, whereas her friends here, the rest of the Toxic Attraction, they lost their NXT tag team titles over this past weekend at Stand and Deliver. And they don't look very happy about it. And we're going to be seeing a NXT Tag Team Championship match tonight, with them actually going after the titles, trying to reclaim what belonged to them until this weekend. Let's see if that happens. But look who's here, another person. Lots of champions making the way ring here, because we are now going to be seeing Cameron Grimes, the new North American champion. Cameron Grimes, he's all happy, he's all smiles, and he's making his way down the ring. And Tony says, what's next? The best in the world CM? I mean, that's right. That is right. That is next, Tony. Absolutely. Yes, Ricky, that's not the Retribution, but this is NXT 2.0's version of the Retribution, if you will. Drew says Triple H slimming down to be expected with the situation he had. He probably couldn't work out and will gradually have to build back up. I went through something similar after a kidney transplant. Yes, true, it takes a lot out of your body, and I'm glad, True, that you're feeling better now, you're doing better now, but Triple H, what he went through wasn't anything minor, is not anything to joke about. I mean, that was a very, very serious and alarming situation. I'm glad that it was taken care of the way it was, and Triple H is fine and healthy now. And even little things, little infections in your body can actually cause you to lose tremendous amount of weight loss because of all the stress that it causes on your body. It does a lot to your body. So it obviously it takes away the glow from your face. It slims you down. It gets you looking weaker. But Triple H, even despite of all of that odds against him, still looks fine. First slimmed down, but he looks fine. Still looks like the King of Kings. And I can't wait to see him get even healthier and put on better shows for us. He's amazing. He's a legend. A legend indeed and true. I'm glad that you're feeling better, brother. Renegade says, ex-NXT UK Tag Team Champions. Thank you for that, Renegade. You're awesome. Ricky says, is NXT UK Retribution? That's right, their version of the Retribution now on 2.0. Lawrence says, all right, I'm from UK, I should watch it. Oh my god, Lawrence, you're guilty of not watching it? Wow, calling you out right now, Lawrence, you should be watching it. And I'll tell you what, when NXT India was about to start, I was like, uh-oh, so there's a lot of wrestling to be catching up on. But I was happy, because I've got a lot of friends who were actually approached by WWE in India, and they were guaranteed that the WWE will be coming over to India in the February of 2022, and they will be getting to hear from them in the January of 2022, and they'll be kicking things off, and they'll be on the road, and they'll be having a TV show starting February. But it didn't work out. Instead of them actually getting contracts in January or whatever, they actually got some gift hampers from WWE in December and January of 2022 or 2021, and those gift hampers contained of a t-shirt, of a sipper cup, and a thank you card. So those plans to have NXT India started and kicking off in India actually have come to a standstill. It's not happening right now. We don't know if it's going to be happening in the future, but for now, those plans have definitely come to a standstill. We'll see what happens. And Tony says, up next, Cameron Grimes, North American Champion. That's right, Tony, absolutely. And, Cameron Grimes has been just so fantastic. The North American Championship match was great. And the way he just climbed up the ladder and grabbed the championship was the side of beauty. That's how swift everybody needs to be in those ladder matches. And Cameron Grimes did the smart thing, didn't waste a lot of time, climbed up, grabbed the championship, became champion. And it was beautiful. And I hope that Grayson Waller, I don't know how he's doing, but I hope he's doing well, because we saw a terrible spot from him where he jumped off the top of a ladder and he went down on another ladder, which was basically, hinged between the ring and the of course the barricade. It was terrible. So I hope that he's okay. I heard that he broke his arm or did a lot of damage to his arm at least. So I hope he's feeling better and is healthy. But that was crazy. I mean, night one of WrestleMania was definitely crazy. Saturday was crazy. We started off the NXT Stand and Deliver with the North American Championship match, and that match had an injury. Then we come over to WrestleMania later that same day, and we started things off with the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match, and that match too had an injury where, this poor guy, Rick Boogs, his knee gave out when both the Usos were up on his shoulder. So, of course, not everybody is a John Cena, not everybody can do the unthinkable, but Rick Boogs, I felt bad for him. I felt bad that both shows had to start this way. I hope both of them are feeling better now. Hey, AJ, I believe Roman hurt his shoulder. Yes, Renegade, I did see those pictures. I heard of the rumors. By the way, this is everybody's favorite lady. And she looks angry for some reason. She looks angry. Nikkita Lyons looks like she's going to be in action tonight. And I know that you guys are going to be happy. You love her, right? So she's going to be in action. We'll see how that goes. And Cameron Grimes is making his way to the ring, the new North American champion. I'm pretty sure he's going to be all smiles, all happy. He's going to be dancing around as tonight is celebration time for Cameron Grimes. Look at that. Yeah, he looks happy. He looks great. Fantastic. Good for him. Good for him. Tonight, the way he's carrying himself and the hair bun and all that kind of reminds me of Pete Dunne. And it kind of also makes me sad that Pete Dunne went from such a serious-looking guy, right? I mean, such a main eventer all the way to Butch. Like Pete Dunne to Butch. It's such a terrible, work down the hill, so it's definitely interesting. But yes, we were talking about Renegade's comment right there that Roman hurt his shoulder, something happened. So I did speak with somebody who belongs to a medical field, and I did get in touch with them with those pictures. And from what it looked like, of course, there has not been an official statement, but they said that this doesn't look too bad. They said that stuff like this can usually recover in weeks, if not days. So hopefully Roman will be back and he'll be good to go in the future. But maybe a week or 2 weeks off wrestling, I don't know. I don't think that's going to be a big deal for him. He can just come out here, he can do his little thing, and he'll be over as anything. So I don't think he's going to have a lot of problem.
Guys, I just want to say, we did it. I made good on my promise, and I know my dad's looking down, smiling.
Cameron looks happy. He's out here cutting an emotional promo. He says, guys, I want to let you all know that we did it. I know we did it together, and everybody's proud of me. My parents are proud of me, and he's cutting a very heartfelt promo right here.
I'm in the ladder to success. Well,
look at that.
Deliver,
yeah.
I did just that.
He's a proud man.
Standing on top of that ladder holding this North American Championship, I'd be lying if I didn't say that time stood still.
That's right.
All the moments went through my head.
I mean, this guy has come all the way up, right? I mean, from all the way down, from being treated like a joke, from being overlooked by a lot of fans, he's come all the way up. And if you remember the match, the hair versus hair match, where Cameron Grimes actually lost a lot of his hair, I think that was a turning point for this young man. Because the time he lost his hair, I believe he also lost all of his misfortune, and tables turned around and things turned around for the better, because ever since then, this guy has practically been unstoppable, and has been on top of his game. He's got a new personality, a new look, a new attitude towards things, which is just incredible. And look at how good he's doing right now. As we see right now, he is the new NXT North American Champion, and looking really very good with the title. There we go. Looking happy, looking great. fantastic. I mean, this is an underdog story, but without all of that sorrow and without all of that misery. Kind of reminds me of the Bryan Danielson, but this guy, just a lot different. This is not about, those tears. This is not about the emotional stuff. This is all about victory at the end through hard work. Look at that.
To make sure that this championship goes up, down, all around on multiple trips to the moon.
There we go. This guy on top of his world right now. Wait a second. Is there somebody coming out here? Oh, wow. Alright, this is big. Okay, so Cameron Grimes face-to-face against Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa, or one of those Usos, is coming out right now, and True says Grimes looked like the same character he was Impact, except he finally took a shower. That's right, he looks a lot neater, a lot cleaner, and that's made a world of difference for him. That's right. Chris, don't worry about that. I tried messaging to all of you. I don't know if all the messages went through, but I had a bad throat last night. Still not 100%, but it got better ever since I got on this live stream talking to all of you. You guys are awesome. And look, Solo Sikoa is here.
Which is cool.
And Solo Sikoa also obviously was in that ladder match. Didn't work out for him. He did dominate that match. A better part of the match, he dominated. But one thing that I caught the very beginning was that everybody got their entrances except for Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa was the only guy who did not have an entrance for that match at Stand and Deliver. So I was like, you know what, this guy didn't even get his entrance. He's definitely not getting a title, which he did not. And the crowd looks happy.
So straight up, man to man,
Okay.
I'm asking you,
This is good.
a champion needs a challenger.
And I don't know if you're listening to the fans in the audience right now, because everybody is chanting Uso. Everybody is chanting Uso. Everybody knows this guy is an Uso. You look at him, you know he's a Uso. And Solo right here is asking for the North American Championship match right here, right now.
In this moment.
Is he gonna get it? Is he gonna get it?
And if I am what I say I am, a champion, then that means I gotta beat people just like you. Oos. You're on.
Us. Oh. Look, this guy is an Uso. You cannot deny that. Even he called him an Us. And he shakes his hands. He says, you're on. So it looks like we're going to be getting Solo Sikoa versus Cameron Grimes. NXT North American Championship match. This just got very, very interesting. So, this is cool. So we now have not one, not two, but 3 championship matches. We know that we're going to be getting an NXT Tag Team Championship match tonight, Women's Tag Team Championship match tonight, which is going to be Toxic Attraction, the former champions versus the new champions. We're going to be getting a world title match between, of course, Gunther or Walter versus Bron Breakker, and now Solo Sikoa versus Cameron Grimes. Give me all that gold. Give me all the championship. I love it. And speaking of gold and championship, here's Gacy. And what does he have to say here?
Don't have family.
Oh, God.
It only leads.
Anybody feels severely uncomfortable when they're looking at Gacy? Because I'll tell you what, I feel very, very uncomfortable when I see him. Okay. And I see Bobby says Darius Lockout versus Red Titus was great match on NWA Power. Check it out, AJ Bobby. I definitely will, brother. I definitely will. And that's right, Tony Oos, you're on. That was the highlight. The absolute highlight for sure. And what else do we have here? Jamie, yeah, I will check it out, brother. During the commercial, I'll check out the message. Apparently, Jamie has a message for me on Instagram, which is of importance. So I will be checking it out.
Gacy certainly has a way with words, and it looks like those words might be starting to get through to Draco Anthony.
This is good. This is good stuff. And let's see what else do we have here. True says Grimes looks like, that's right, Grimes looks like the same guy from Impact with a shower, and shower, as we can know, does wonders. A good presentation can do wonders. I like this emission because I am a WWE fan. ASC Valakai, good to see you. Welcome on board. Welcome to the stream. It's a pleasure to have you here. And speaking of pleasure, alright, are you kidding me? Is WWE really airing the same package, same video for the 3 times? We've already seen this video twice, if I remember. Yes, we've seen this twice already on NXT Stand and Deliver on the same damn show. They aired this package 2 times, this not so PG package between, of course, Persia, her boyfriend, and Indy and Dexter, of course, the husband and wife. And this is not so PG. This is the whole little feud where NXT or WWE is trying their TV14 ratings or TV14 audience. They're testing the waters right now. And if this goes well, we might as well be seeing a full-fledged TV14 show. But for now, they're testing the waters through this little feud right here at our hands. So it's definitely interesting. Ricky says when they want to make the new Retribution, old Retribution was bad and made no point. It is trash. That's right. That was a very sad Retribution. And look at who's here. Persia and her boyfriend, and Indy and her husband, Dexter, making her way to the ring right now. So we're going to be seeing Dexter Lumis versus Duke Hudson up next. After this short commercial, we're going to be seeing Dexter, we're going to be seeing Duke one-on-one. It is Persia's boyfriend and Indy's husband, more importantly. You know what they say? Don't get into relationships, because if you do, you have to carry your partner's trash. And that's what's happening here. I mean, Duke and Dexter, they wouldn't even be having a match right now if it wasn't for their better or worse halves, should I say. So it's their wife or their girlfriend's rivalry that they have to settle in that ring. It is just stupid, but it is what it is. And Corey says, hey, when are you going to do more 2K22 streams? Corey, good to see you. And I'm glad that you enjoy the 2K22 streams. More of them are going to be covering every single day. We're going to be doing a lot of streams every single day. And you can expect to see more tomorrow. Good to see you, Corey. And Tony says, I'm mega hyped already. This is a good NXT. I must just say that. We talk about Raw after WrestleMania being a special one. NXT after Stand and Deliver, pretty damn special. Renegade says Bron Breakker will win tonight. I think so, because, we saw that little bit of a, crossroads between Fabian and, his partner, the Imperium, for the first time ever, looking like they were not on the same page. So the only reason why I think they could have done that is to hint some tension between the Imperium and to lead to a loss for, Volta or Gunther. Now, Gunther is no easy man. He cannot be brought down. Bron Breakker single-handedly cannot bring back Gunther. So if there's a clash between the Imperium, which is unthinkable, by the way, because I saw Imperium as the tag team, the perfect tag team, which cannot be brought down, which cannot be broken up, but we are seeing some tensions coming up all of a sudden out of nowhere. So I guess those tensions are only being brought up because they don't want Gunther to win tonight. And, attention is definitely going to lead to a loss for Gunther tonight, which means Bron Breakker has to retain. He must retain. And Bobby says, Velvet Sky and May Valentine and Darius Lockhart and Red Titus, 10 for 10 for me on Power. And Bobby, a very, very big May Valentine and Velvet Sky fan, so that is lovely, Bobby. Ricky says, both Raw and NXT 2.0. It's TV14. And you know what? They could be actually gearing towards a more TV14 product, and that is what they're testing right now. With this whole Indy and Dexter and Persia thing, it's very different. And if you look at the outfit for Mandy Rose at Stand and Deliver as well, I mean, that is a kind of an outfit that you haven't seen in a while, right? That was very, at least it was very hot for television, for WWE television. So definitely kind of an outfit that you haven't seen on WWE television for a while, but they did it at Stand and Deliver. So they're slowly and slightly hinting towards that whole thing as we speak right now. And I'm also going to take a look at what Jamie has been talking about. Jamie says that he wants me to check on somebody's message on Instagram, so I'm going to be looking at it right now as we speak. And I can see here it's Kimberly's profile on Twitter, and it seems like Kimberly has okay, so Kimberly says she has put on a thread on Twitter, as I can see right now, and she says that, hey, NXT, Kimberly, by the way, Impact wrestler, Impact, she's been a sidekick of Deonna Purrazzo for a while before that ended. So Kimberly, a very known wrestler out there, and she has said that, hey, NXT, this is my face after your tag team champion, Nash Carter. Nash Carter, obviously, MSK Superstar, it belongs to the Fashion MSK. So she says, this is my face after Nash Carter got wasted and hit me so hard he split my lip open. He told me I'm a wrestler, so I'm always marked up. I've hid this for years, never forgave him, but I can't hide it anymore. And those are some awful graphic pictures that Kimberly has actually posted along with the tweet accusing MSK Superstar Nash Carter basically of domestic violence. And she says, you all wanted proof, there it is. I'm sorry I backed out, but he was telling me lies all weekend to get me to not say anything. So Kimberly has made a very, very big accusation. She's made a big accusation on Nash Carter along with some pictures. And she also has, these are some, another picture of Nash Carter. She says, another look into the kind of person Nash Carter is. I've hid so much for so long because I was mentally abused, she says. Not to mention these are bad. And not only has she accused Nash Carter, but also his family of a lot of bad stuff. So directly tweeting out NXT and, talking about how Nash Carter has mistreated her and also physically or mentally, basically gotten the best of her over the years. So this is really bad stuff, and I'm pretty sure that the WWE will be looking into this soon. And MSK, I don't think that they're going to be in action tonight because of those tweets, because those are some very, very tough and strong accusations. So, Jamie, thank you for, sharing that with us. That is some terrible news. And, Kimberly is a person that I've had personal and good interaction with in the past. I've actually had the opportunity to interview her. And she's a very lovely lady. She's a nice lady. So I hope that things get better for her and she can get rid of the toxicity from her life. And speaking of toxicity, I don't know if this relationship between Persia and this guy right here, her boyfriend, is good, because this looks like a very toxic relationship with Persia is only going after this guy because she is jealous of her friend Indy's relationship with her husband. So this whole thing is definitely weird to look at. I'm not too sure how I think about or feel about it, but it's weird. Anyways, right into this match right here, and Dexter is actually on the receiving end, or maybe not. He turns the tables around and he is actually dominating him in the ring right now with those heavy hits, heavy punches right to the face. He is dominating as we speak. Look at that. And a big elbow drop. Look at that. Beautiful. So Dexter is suddenly in control. And Film Nation is here. Good to see you, Film Nation. Hope you're doing well. I am doing great, but it's so good to see you. And Ricky says relationship is hard just to be single. That's right, Ricky. It is hard. It is definitely hard. Until you find the right one, then everything is perfect. Bobby says, AJ, big news by Niall is wrestling on NXT Level Up against debut wrestler. So a debut on NXT Level Up sounds beautiful. And the reason why I'm always so excited about Level Up is because of all these debuts. Because we get to see a glimpse at the next generation, which really, really excites me, which makes me happy. So I look forward to NXT Level Up, Bobby. Let's see who the debuting star is gonna be. And so far as we can see, Duke is actually dominating and Dexter is down. Tables have turned around. Persia cheering on her boyfriend Duke. Indy is cheering on her husband Dexter. But of course, it's Persia's charm that's working out the best right now because Duke is dominating. I guess that's what marriage does to you, because before he got married, Dexter was literally unstoppable. After marriage, look at this guy right here getting his arse beat by Duke as we speak. And Ricky says, hey, Film Nation. That's right, hey, Film Nation. Welcome on board. The family missed you. It's so good to see you. Izzy time is here. Izzy, good to see you. Where was I last night? I tried reaching out to everybody. I couldn't find you on YouTube, which is why I couldn't text you. But I had a bad throat after being, live for WrestleMania weekend. I mean, throughout the weekend, it was a beautiful, beautiful weekend. We had a lot of fun, but my throat didn't just support me yesterday. I couldn't speak. But here I am, feeling better now. Ever since I got on this live, I feel better now. And this show is actually making me very happy. So I couldn't be here, Izzy, last night because my throat wasn't with me. But here I am back and my throat is as well. So it's good to see you. And Jamie, I see you. That's right. The whole thing is horrible, Jamie. And I hope that, actions taken against him, if they can actually find some more evidence about, his wrongdoings, which I'm pretty sure they will. So action must be taken. That's right. And Drew says MSK will have a short title reign for sure. Those are some very big accusations, and that's the kind of stuff that nobody should be going through. And that's the kind of stuff that nobody should actually even think of putting somebody else through. Nobody has the right to put somebody through like that. So MSK is going to have a short title run, and unfortunately, his partner will suffer because of his wrongdoings, right? That's the worst part. And Victor is here. He says, hey, yo, what's up? Hope all is well. Wow, that was a weekend for wrestling for sure. That was a weekend for wrestling, which makes you proud as a wrestling fan. By the way, I still remember Vince McMahon. Thank you for giving us that very memorable stunner over the weekend. That was a very, very memorable stunner. I mean, can you actually recall that anybody actually selling the stunner as well as Vince McMahon did? I mean, that was beautiful. But you know what? A lot of people have been laughing about it, but I'll tell you what, it was all fun and jokes. But Vince McMahon is man enough to take a stunner at this day and age. He doesn't have to. With the amount of money he has, by the way, big spine buster from Dexter to Duke. And Duke is now feeling the effects. Maybe marriage doesn't really destroy you, because as we can see here, Dexter is doing well and he's got his stamina back up. He's actually dominating the match. And as Duke got his leg on the rope, foot on a rope, Indy tosses it away, trying to get the win for her husband Dexter. Now Dexter was an unstoppable force beforehand. Now it seems like he's got it in a more relaxed. This is a more relaxed version of Dexter. But I hope to see him once again back as the crazy psychopath, as he's always known to be. Because right now, it seems like this is a more relaxed and a more chilled version of Dexter, which I don't know if I'm a very big fan of. I kind of miss that crazy Dexter. And look at what's happening right now. This, like I said, this is not a match between the two men. This is a match between the two men who sadly are, involved with two women who are just jealous of each other, and they want their men to fight for each other, for them. It's just super duper weird. And yes, once again, look at what's happening right now in the ring. You see Dexter all over Indy, and you see Duke all over Persia. Once again, signaling to a very TV-14 kind of environment. And with that being said, we go right to backstage. We're not going to care about that match. We're going to pretend like it didn't happen. And we are now taking a look at the new NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, Dakota Kai and Raquel. Let's see what they have to say.
Toxic attraction, whatever.
And when you're scared, you make threats. And that's exactly what toxic attraction is. Scared.
And they're going to be fighting Toxic Attraction. Of course, Mandy Rose is still the world champion. But her friends lost their tag team championships to these lovely women over the weekend. And they actually want it back, and they want it back tonight. Which is why tonight, the main event, or maybe the semi-main event of the night, could be Toxic Attraction versus the team of Raquel. And that's right, it's happening right now. Toxic Attraction versus Raquel and Dakota Kai for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship. Let's go how this all goes down. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a good match. And Victor says, Impact Wrestling is supposed to be signing them boys. The Briskers can't wait until Thursday. If they do it, that's going to be a big win for Impact. That's going to get a lot of people on board with Impact Wrestling. It's going to be beautiful. Izzy says, who is the champion for productions? What do you mean, Izzy? Who's the champion for... Oh, you mean predictions. Oh, that's right. Andy is the champion for predictions. Of course, True and, True and Renegade had a draw on Saturday, WrestleMania Night 1. But on Sunday, Andy won the championship. So he is the current and reigning Wrestling News Predictions Championship. So congratulations, Andy. And I know he's a not very big fan of NXT, but he's going to be here tomorrow for Dynamite. So we look forward to having him here tomorrow. Renegade says, Dexter reminds me of Stone Cold for some reason. I guess it does because he has no filter. The guy literally has no filter whatsoever. So I get that comparison. But of course, with the hair that Dexter has and Stone Cold does not, I don't see it. But it's interesting. Drew says, Linda sold the stunner just as well. That's right, she did. But I gotta give credit and props to Vince. He didn't need to take it, but he took it. He took it like a man or an old man, and he did it well. He made us all laugh. And we all love Vince, so that's all right. And Victor says double counter. That's right, double counter right there. Again, this match made no sense. It was more of a filler. I don't know what the whole point of the whole feud is, apart from the fact that they're testing the waters with TV-14. I don't know what the feud does at all. I'm just not too sure. The Indy Hartwell Dexter feud with Persia and her boyfriend Duke it makes little sense to me, apart from the fact that they're testing the waters for TV14. They want to try out this whole new experiment, see if this works out, goes over with the fans, if the ratings spike when they see Dexter and Indy and Persia. Maybe they're just trying that right now. But apart from that, I don't think that whole feud actually accomplishes anything else. And Renegade says, there you go, I'm not a big MSK fan, so I hope so. Yeah, the MSK thing with, just like one of our, readers right here, one of our viewers right here, Jamie said that there's this stuff going on between Kimberly and MSK. He shared some tweets with us, so hopefully, they're able to get to the bottom of this, and whoever needs to, pay for that, pays for that. And he says, I'm not, I left early. There you go, Ezek, but good to see you here. AJ Abaddon wrestled today on Dark against... Oh wow, Hainahara, abandoned wins. That's nice, Bobby. That's very good. And I want to do watch-alongs for Dark and Elevation too, maybe in the future. But I really want to do watch-alongs for those as well. Okay, thank you. There you go. Film Nation, all love here, brother. And Tony says, I love Coda and Raquel. And Film Nation says, me too. Nikki ASH as well. Smashing likes on the live stream. AJ, thank you for that love, guys. Thank you for the love. Renegade says, Andy was a new Wrassingh champion. Thank you, Renegade, once again for keeping track of the scores. You're the best. And Film Nation says, okay, good. Ricky is, I hope you see her on Wednesday, if not probably Friday. If I don't show up on Friday, Wednesday, Ricky, tell her, there you go. Much love. Much love. Amazing stuff. Great stuff. And Renegade says, Stone Cold had hair in WCW. That's right, he did. Ow, that actually dawns on me right now, because he did have blonde hair too, before he went fully bald, which I think was a great decision. But he did have blonde hair, that too, before he went bald. So that comparison now just dawned on me. It makes a lot of sense. Good stuff right there. Dexter and Stone Cold Steve Austin. I guess that makes sense. Now, maybe Stone Cold needs to go bald. I don't know if he needs to go bald, or at least he needs to chug down some Stone Cold beer. This guy, Dexter, maybe he'll go over the fans' den. We'll see. It's so sweet. Lawrence says, I can't get used to the NXT, LOL. Really only like Cora Jade and Walter and Gunther. I get it, of course, Cora Jade is a star. We haven't seen her yet, which is surprising. I'm not sure if we're gonna be seeing her tonight, because obviously she failed to win her NXT Championship this past weekend at Stand and Deliver. So maybe she's not that important of a roster member tonight to show up tonight. So maybe we'll see her next week. But it's always a treat to see Cora Jade. We know she's a star. She knows that she's a star. And she's able to pull in the hard work and, actually work her way up for a bit more. She's going to be in the main roster sooner than later. And she's going to be a star right there. So big things in future for Cora Jade with her little skateboard and with the kind of attitude that she has and the in-ring skills. I mean, sky is the limit for Cora Jade. I can already see her selling merchandise like nobody else. She's gonna sell merch. She's gonna go over the whole WWE market like nobody else. She's gonna be popular for sure. Answer your question, BTS. I'll be here tomorrow. Phil, Ricky, you're amazing, brother. I'm going to be here as well. And we're going to be watching the show tomorrow, like we watch every single show, every single day of the week, right here on this channel, for every single wrestling show. No matter it's a WWE show, AEW show, let it be Impact, let it be an indie show. We're here Monday to Sunday for every single show. And look at what's happening right now. This is what I talked about earlier. Imperium, and you can see Gunther right there backstage working out with his friend mad about being betrayed by one of their friends, right? Early on in the match, the tag team match against Creed Brothers, this guy was left all alone in the ring by his own friend, which we've never seen from Imperium before. They always stand by each other, they stand up for each other, and it was very surprising when we saw him alone in that ring. Anyways, speaking of tag team, this match is going to be for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship. It's the Toxic Attraction who are looking to win back their gold. Their gold that they actually dropped to Raquel and her good friend at NXT Stand and Deliver pay-per-view. So let's see how this one's going to go down. But it's going to be Dakota Kai and Raquel versus Toxic Attraction for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship. Let's see how this one goes down. Your picks, guys. Let me know, who do you think is going to be winning this one. Let me know who is your pick to win back or to win the NXT tag titles. For me, I think I'm gonna be going with Raquel and Dakota Kai. I think they're new champions. I think they're fantastic as a tag team, and they're just getting started. Once again, we're getting highlights from this last Saturday where Wendy Chu showed up in her pajamas and with her pillow and with her sipper cup, and she spilled the drink on, these ladies right here, due to which, they actually most necessarily lost the match. Had it not been for Wendy Chu, they might still be, Toxic Attraction might still be champions. But because of her stupid drink in that sipper cup, and because of her, Wendy Chu, they lost the title. So it's not over between them, but before they get to Wendy Chu, it is time for Dakota and Raquel versus the Toxic Attraction. And Bobby says, I like Miranda Alice. I love her as well. I would like to see more of Tony Khan using her in Ring of Honor. I hope so, Bobby. I hope we get to know more about ROH and what the plans are, because right now there's a lot of questions and not a lot of answers. Victor says, I can't wait for Cody versus Roman. Cody versus Stead stole the show, best match of Mania. I can't wait for it either, but I think that there is some time left before we actually get a Cody Rhodes versus a Roman Reigns match, because you know what's going to happen. Cody Rhodes super over right now. I mean, if he loses big to Roman, it's probably gonna bring a stop to his momentum, which WWE probably does not want. And also, Roman Reigns is kind of down from this past weekend, kind of injured, but not so injured. He's got a swollen shoulder and whatnot, so he needs some recovery time, perhaps a week or 2 weeks, perhaps a few days. He's gonna be good to go, but for sure, I don't expect to see him in action on Friday, but we will find out eventually. But that match ultimately needs to happen, and I can't wait for it to happen either. Victor is going to be a good one. And with that being said, guys, Toxic Attraction, right off the bat, trying to dominate, trying to get the upper hand. Raquel, though, she realizes, wait a second, what are you even trying to do? You are nothing but a mosquito trying to bite off me, and you're not going to be able to do that because I'm unstoppable, and I'm big, and I'm humongous, and look at that. And with a very sly, tag right there made by the Toxic Attraction, she goes flying, and it does not connect because Raquel is an unstoppable force. She lifts her up, and there's a reversal with the big kicks to Raquel's gut right there. Raquel gets her up once again, and with the she's spinning her around, and she gets her down, and she goes to tag Dakota Kai in. Dakota Kai in on the match right now. Raquel gives an upper hand and a big drop kick right to the gut. This lady right here. Beautiful stuff. And Dakota Kai is in control. Look at that. Beautiful stuff. Irish up into the corner with the reversal and a roll up right now. Dakota Kai is on fire as we speak. She is on fire. And I must say, it is a pleasure watching this show with all of you. NXT tonight, we've seen a lot of good NXTs this year alone. A lot of good NXT episodes, which I've said, perhaps the best NXT episode so far. This also, I feel, the NXT after Mania or after Stand and Deliver, I think one of the best ones we've seen this year, or one of the best we've seen since its revamp. I would say probably up in the top 3 NXT episodes ever since its revamp. This is a very good episode, and with a big knee right to the face of Dakota Kai, and Dakota Kai is actually feeling the effects right now. And this is the same story that we saw at NXT Stand and Deliver. At Stand and Deliver, what we saw was Dakota Kai actually coming across as a weak link of the match, and Raquel carrying most of the match, Gonzalez carrying most of the match, and actually getting the win. And tonight as well, we can look at it right now, Gonzalez actually comes across as the top competitor, as the powerhouse of this tag team, and Dakota Kai is just struggling to get to Gonzalez so she can turn the tables around, because the Toxic Attraction definitely has Kai's number, but Gonzalez, not so much. So this lady right here, Dakota Kai, is coming across as a weak link, like it or not, of this tag team. And Kenneth, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Victor says champs gonna be retaining. So Victor says that what's gonna happen is that Gonzalez and Kai are gonna retain. True says it's gonna be Gonzalez as Kai as well. Film Nation says, but what I'm trying to say, if I don't show up on Friday, tell her I love Charlotte Flair. There you go. Alright, Film Nation. Gotcha. Ricky says, there you go. Bobby says Raquel and Gonzalez and Dakota Kai are gonna win for sure. Everybody here everybody here says that Raquel and Kai are gonna pick up the win, which I love. I think that's exactly what's gonna happen. It would make little sense for them to lose tonight, but we will find out. Lawrence says, I'm going to head off, can't get into NXT, gonna play some 2K22. Lawrence, I'm gonna see you tomorrow, brother, for some AEW Dynamite, which, as Bobby said, is gonna be the debut for Samoa Joe on AEW Dynamite. So it's going to be a very memorable episode. I can't wait to see some of the dream matches we're going to get through Samoa Joe on AEW Dynamite or Rampage. I can't wait to see Samoa Joe versus Hobbs, Samoa Joe versus, Darby Allin, Samoa Joe versus CM Punk once again. Maybe in an ROH ring. Who wouldn't want to see Joe versus CM Punk? And let's talk about Samoa Joe versus Keith Lee. Let's get that match. But speaking of some dream matches right here, we're also going to be seeing a sort of a dream match, at least for me. We're going to be seeing Gunther versus Bron Breakker in the main event of NXT tonight. I'm so excited for that one. Of course, there's going to be some dirty work going on there because we've seen Imperium not getting along like they always do. Tonight, we saw them clashing between each other. I mean, this guy left him alone in the ring and went back, leaving him alone to fend for himself in the tag team match. So it's definitely interesting. We'll see how that all turns out. But right now, we have cut to commercial. Alright, so we're seeing right now we have cut to commercial, and Film Nation says, there you go, thank you Ricky, perfect. I like Lash Legend, Bobby, Lash Legend, indeed, a legend, without a shadow of a doubt, she is legendary. Victor says, I like Nikkita Lyons, better than Lash Legend, Bobby, there you go, but Victor, a lot of people love Nikkita Lyons, and we know what to do. I mean, everybody here, everybody watching this right now, make some noise for Nikkita Lyons. If you like Nikkita Lyons, let me know, make some noise, and we'll find out how much do people indeed love Nikkita Lyons. Let me know. Alright, so speaking of that right now, let's see. Victor says Bron Breakker retains. Yeah, I think so too. Bron Breakker has to retain, and the whole thing that we saw between Breakker and of course, Imperium early on, I think it signals to the fact that Imperium, something's gonna go down. Perhaps that guy from Imperium, Fabian, maybe he's gonna come in and he's gonna cost poor Gunther his world title match. But we'll find out. We will see indeed. Alright, so we're seeing right now, Renegade is saying, I think Raquel and Gonzalez and Dakota Kai loses. So one person here thinks that Kai and Gonzalez are gonna lose the match. That is interesting. We'll find out. And now, I would not mind that because I'm a big Toxic Attraction fan myself. So we'll see. But anyways, in the comments, make some noise if you like Nikkita Lyons. If you think that she's super over, or at least if she's super over for you. On the other hand, if you like Toxic Attraction, also make some noise. Let's see if we have some support going on for the two right here. And Victor says Samoa Joe versus Bryan Danielson. That's right, another big one. It would be a dream match for me, Joe and Danielson. It will be a fantastic match for me. It was a dream match, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. And just 1 second, let's see. What else do we have here? Bobby says, my dream match is Samoa Joe versus Minoru Suzuki. Bobby, you kidding right now? Would love that match myself. Would be fantastic. Would love to see that match. I think we're not too far away from seeing it either. I think it's going to happen. And I can't wait until it actually happens. What else do we have here? Let's see. Ricky says, I love Nikki. She is great. I think so too. You're not alone, Ricky. I think she's fantastic. Film Nation says, I think Samoa Joe should stay on Ring of Honor. Don't go AEW, in my respective opinion, where I'm coming from. And Film Nation, I can respect your opinion. And I've been actually questioning this since forever. I mean, ever since Samoa Joe made his debut, but then online we saw the graphics of Samoa Joe being all elite. I've been asking everybody, confused, and I've been asking everybody, is Samoa Joe all elite or is he all honor? What is he? Is he a Ring of Honor superstar? Is he an all elite wrestling superstar? What is going on here? I mean, lots of questions, no answers. We don't know if Samoa Joe is going to stay on Ring of Honor. We don't know if there's going to be a Ring of Honor exclusive contracts that are going to be handed out, or if everybody who is all elite just gets to appear on Ring of Honor every once in a while. Lots of questions here. We don't know anything about it. I guess we will eventually, but for so far, we have a lot of questions and we need them answered. And Chris says, I hate Toxic attraction. I love that you make your hate known, which is very, very important. And you know what? They are toxic. And if you hate them, I think it makes sense. That's amazing. Ricky says, I love Nikkita. She is great. I love Nikkita. Film Nation, I'll see you soon. I love it. Nikkita Lyons getting a lot of love. As I've said before, during another one of my watch-along streams, I've said this, that a few friends of mine who don't even watch wrestling, I saw them on the group sharing pictures of Nikkita Lyons' debut on NXT, and I was like, hold up, I never knew you guys started watching wrestling. And they're like, we don't. We just saw this lady on WWE's Instagram page, and we think she's good. And I'm like, wow, okay, so Nikkita Lyons is definitely attracting a lot of people from all across the board. You know, as WWE fans, wrestling fans or not, she's attracting everybody, so, which is very impressive. Bobby says, I like toxic attraction, I love that. Victor says, right now, Samoa Joe is a Tony Khan guy. Yeah, that's the question. Tony Khan guy indeed. But what's going to happen? Is Tony Khan going to have him All Elite? Is he going to have him ROH? Because both the promotions are Tony Khan promotions, as we know. And Dakota Kai looking to fly with a big, big dropkick. And so is Raquel. There you go. Right there on her opponent. I think it's going to be it, or maybe not. Toxic attraction somehow able to survive with the breakup to the cover. Look at that. Raquel is now the legal lady in the ring. So I guess we can expect the tables to turn around for good. I think it's going to stay where it is. Or maybe don't do it. Don't do it. Raquel, don't tag her in. Oh dear. Raquel perhaps made the biggest mistake of the evening. She is tagged in Dakota Kai, who I've been saying is the weaker link of this team. She is definitely comes across as a weaker one. I think really the tables are going to turn around now, and they're going to turn around not for the good. But let's find out. Dakota Kai so far looking impressive, but not for long. Look at that. A very slight tag was made by the Toxic Attraction right there, which Kai failed to realize. And with that being said, Kai is in control, and her friend Gonzalez has actually been knocked off the apron too because of her knee that was obviously injured, or she was in pain. You know, this lady goes right there, kicks her knee, and she falls off the apron. So Kai is right here in the ring to fend for herself as Toxic Attraction, going strong and going big and dominating. And look at what else we have here. True says Samoa Joe is both. ROH is 20 years old. AEW is a toddler. They will help each other. That's right, True. It seems like he's both right now. But the question is, are we going to have ROH exclusive contracts or we're not? That's a question that I've had, since forever. And I guess we're going to find the answers to it soon. But so far, it seems like AEW contracts also open the doors to ROH. But we don't know if there's going to be exclusive ROH contracts. I'm pretty sure there will be. But when, how, what capacity, we will know. Chris says, I love Nikkita Lyons. There you go. I love that. Yes, that's right. Nikkita Lyons hard to be not loved. And if you're speaking of the women right now of NXT, Toxic Attraction, Nikkita Lyons, Lash Legend. Let's also talk about Lash Legend. Let's also talk about this lady right here who is the daddy's girl, Tiffany Stratton. Now, she also gets a lot of mixed reactions, mixed reviews. Some people say that she's amazing. She's great in the ring. Some say her character is fantastic. It's a breath of fresh air. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? So this lady right here, I'm so glad. Mandy, thank you for that. Mandy comes in and she stops her before she could even get involved. She comes in a hideous looking giraffe pajamas, or instead of giraffe pajamas, she comes in with her pillow and with her stupid sipper cup, probably looking to spill some drinks once again. Mandy Rose comes in and, kicks her, sends her flying right into the steel steps. And look at that. Toxic Attractions have turned the tables around. Raquel Gonzalez is in the ring right now, but she's looking so dizzy, so weak. We could be seeing a title change as we speak right now with a double kick, double tag team move. 1, 2, and just like that. I love this. I love this. I love it. And Tony says right now, they got the belts back. I love it. This is great. You're right. Renegade said it. Everybody was wrong when they said that Gonzalez and Kai is going to win. Renegade was the only one who said Toxic Attraction is going to win. And I'm so glad, because I'll tell you what, look at them. They look like champions. With them, Gonzalez and Kai, they need to stop depending on relying on that girl with the pajamas, Wendy Chu. Come on, give me a break. Wendy Chu was coming out here trying to do her dirty work, the same thing she did at Stand and Deliver, but I'm glad that Mandy Rose was on top of her game. She stopped Wendy Chu and her dirty, dirty tricks right there. And with that being said, we have new champions, and once again, maybe two-time champions now. It is the Toxic Attraction. They've got all the gold in NXT once again, and I am loving it. I'm loving it, absolutely. And Tony says, what a cheap shot by Mandy. I know, Tony, but you know what? Maybe I'm a bit of a heel because I love it. I love it. Look at that. As I see Kai right there, I feel bad for Kai, I feel bad for Gonzalez, but I'll tell you what, I don't feel bad for Wendy Chu. She had no business being there. She should have stayed out of the way, not once but twice. She'd wanted to do it. Come on, give me a break. And look who's very, very happy. Tony Deangelo is all smiles, looking very happy, with a big smile, showing off his teeth, showing off his, just... Yeah, look at that personality. He's coming down here. He's celebrating his big win from this past weekend where he defeated Tommaso Ciampa. And in his farewell match, that too. So Tony D'Angelo really has the bragging rights right here. And he's going to come out here and I think he's going to cut a promo where he's going to be bragging for about 20 minutes. And he's going to be shoving it down our throats how he ended up defeating Tommaso Ciampa in his farewell NXT match. I mean, I still remember... Poor guy Ciampa actually got rid of the mat from the ringside because he wanted to take it to the extreme. He wanted to take the match to the limits. He got rid of the mat from the ringside, and I was like, uh-oh, you know what? Every time I've seen somebody do it, it always turns it around for himself, and that's exactly what happened. Ciampa spent a good amount of time trying to get the mat away from the ringside, and the mat kept rolling back to its place. So Ciampa struggled with that at first, and once he was finally able to get it off and the concrete of the floor was exposed, he actually got DDT'd right on the concrete, because of which he actually lost the match. So that was definitely interesting. And Dale says, you call it, Renegade. We acknowledge it that you call it. And Renegade says, Wendy needs to leave her pajamas at home. Now, I don't know if they do it because they want her to stand out, because she really does stand out. But it also brings me to the question, if your own superstar is on the show and they're sleeping and they are in their pajamas, and you can't keep your own superstars awake during your show, how do you expect your fans to be awake during the show? Maybe the show's so boring for her that she keeps sleeping all the time. So if you want us to be interested, make sure that all your superstars are wide awake during the show, because if I see a sleeping star on my show, you better believe it, I'm gonna knock off. And True says, what was the point of Raquel and Kai winning the titles in the first place? Same with the Ziggler. I guess it's just for the movement. It's just for the movement, the pop that they had at Stand and Deliver. Because, yeah, it's interesting. I know it's interesting, but I guess they just did it for the pop, I guess, for the unpredictable nature. I mean, a lot of people didn't see Ziggler winning it, and I guess to make it unpredictable, they gave it to Ziggler. And also, with the same case, I guess this one as well. But I'm pretty sure they're going to be coming back for the titles. We're going to be seeing there's some rematches down the road, and I'm in for it, because Raquel and Kai as a tag team is interesting. But as I said, I feel like Dakota Kai is the weak link of the tag team. We're going to find everything out about that. King Tony D is in the building. That's right, Ricky. King Tony D. This guy had a big weekend defeating Tommaso Ciampa, and he's going to be here talking all about it. We'll listen to him in a bit. Victor says, what happened to Raquel Gonzalez? She used to be a beast when she fought Rhea Ripley. It's sad. Yeah, I mean, she aligned herself with Dakota Kai. I guess this is sort of how you can look back at Rhea Ripley, somebody that Gonzalez has shared the ring with. Look at Rhea Ripley and how she slowed down and how her momentum came down when she aligned herself with Nikki ASS. Remember that time? Almost a superhero in Nikki and Rhea Ripley. I mean, that was terrible for Rhea. It was terrible for her. It brought her down. I mean, she looked weak. She didn't look like the same old Rhea that we were so used to. And now that she's actually gotten away from her and she's teaming up with Liv Morgan, a much better team in my opinion, she's doing great. She's back as a powerhouse as she earlier was. So I guess it all depends on the company. Your partner can actually shoot you up, or your partner can bring you down. And I guess in the case of Gonzalez, it is Dakota Kai who could be bringing her down right now. Chris says, I hate Mandy Rose. Chris, there you go. Okay. It's interesting. A lot of people love her. A lot of people adore her, but some people also hate her. So it's interesting. I mean, she's a heel, and if she's getting some hate from you, Chris, I guess she's doing her job well, right? And with that being said, this guy makes me super duper uncomfortable, and he's back.
Do your best to control that chaos.
Gacy.
But what happens when you can't control it?
Oh dear, I can't listen to this guy. I'm gonna get nightmares if I do. But this guy should be in the same ring as Kevin Owens. The kind of promos back and forth that these guys will have, it automatically, makes me cracks me up because Kevin Owens, I cannot see him actually tolerating his crap while he speaks for 10 minutes. And it's gonna be hilarious. But speaking of that, it is AJ Galante in the ring right now. You're watching AJ sing right now here, but AJ Galante is in the ring and he looks happy.
Don't know who we are? Look us up.
There we go.
It is my pleasure to introduce to you the man of the hour.
The man of the hour, Tony Deangelo, actually coming out right now. He's out here to celebrate his big title win against Tommaso Ciampa. This is old school mentality. If you're wondering why did Tommaso Ciampa have to lose, why did WWE book it like that, I would like to take you back to WrestleMania 35, one of the most recent matches, where we saw a match between Batista and Triple H, where a lot of people said, why did Batista have to lose that match? And Batista, I'm so glad that he said it. He said, I lost it because I am old school mentality. I lost it because old school, this was the way to say thank you to the business. Thank you to the industry that gave you bread and butter and fame and name for so long. So he said, old school mentality is when you're having your final match for our brand or your final match of your career, you actually have your shoulders down and you're looking up at the ceiling, at the roof, and you're letting the other guy go over and you're saying thank you to the business just like that. And Tommaso Ciampa losing also is old school mentality. He left NXT as a loser, but also as a winner because he helped put somebody else over. And this guy is going to benefit from that win, and we can see it right now. He is benefiting already.
It gets even better.
Let's finish our ceremony, huh? Tony, on this table is a card with your blood that signifies that you are ready to take the oath of the Don.
That's interesting. On this table is a card with Tony D'Angelo's blood. Are we going all gothic here? I never knew Tony D'Angelo was in this kind of stuff, but that is interesting.
You acknowledge and accept it.
That's right, Tony. It's true. They really is paying her. She is getting paid to be sleepy. If that was a job requirement, I'd sign up and I'd make $1 million too. Good for her.
Can never, ever be questioned.
What is going on here? Is this guy forgetting his lines? Because it looks like he's super nervous, and when he's getting interrupted with the fans, it does look like he's forgetting his lines. He is. He really is. I think so. I think he is.
May your soul burn in hell. This thing is a thing of honor.
Yeah, this guy is not carrying this thing well. This segment, this guy's a mess. And you can hear the boring chants actually coming from the fans right now. Fans are chanting boring as this guy speaks. And I'm so glad that he stopped speaking because he looked nervous from the very beginning. He made a few mistakes. He fumbled a little. He took a few seconds to think over it. This guy definitely forgot his lines. He did. Wow. And he gives Tony a ring with kisses to the cheek.
To officially and formally present to you the Don of NXT, Tony Deangelo.
The dime of NXT is Tony D'Angelo. He's got his own ring to prove it. Look at that. Alright. Okay, I don't like Mandy Rose, but I like watching her, says Renegade speaking for the fans, speaking for the millions around the world. I love that, Renegade. I love that. And, wow. What is happening here? The dawn of NXT, Tony D'Angelo. We're getting a tribute package here. What are we getting? A hype package? Tony D'Angelo is being celebrated by the fans, by AJ Galante, by NXT as we speak right now. Look at that. Okay. And Jason says, AJ, do you know Wendy Chu? Is T and Sean Wendy Chu is T and... Oh, wow, really? I had no idea. All the time I see her with the sleeping mask on. I see... Wait a second.
Again, recapture gold.
Wow. So even after the tweets from Kimberly, which we touched based on some time back, we're seeing MSK actually in the building, and this guy's being interviewed, and he looks happy. Still the champions. So I guess the whole thing from Kimberly is gonna be they're gonna take a look into it. but unless they find evidence, they're probably not going to do anything about it. So this guy's still here, still looking good, and getting some spotlight here in that backstage interview. And of course, with the gold on his shoulders, this is interesting. And Jonathan says, great show so far. AJ, do you think Roman Reigns will be considered as one of the greatest of all time, or is it still too early? I think so. I think he's on his way to be one of the absolute greatest ever. And we can see Grayson Waller here, poor guy, by the way, because, you know, he suffered a big injury this past weekend at Stand and Deliver in the opening match when he jumped off the ladder onto another ladder, you know, got his arm injured in that process. But I hope he's getting better because he's already here. He hasn't missed a work day here.
Yeah, what he said. We don't care about those other teams. We'll take those titles real quick.
There we go.
Sounds like you want to do this tonight. Say less, brother. We can go.
What, are you kidding me right now?
We'd love that, but as you can see, I'm not 100% right now. But you better go call your shaman, because when we take those titles from you, you're going back to square one.
Lots of title match challenges, lots of title matches being put out there. MSK said, we want the shot at the title right now, let's do it tonight. But Grayson Waller said, you know what, I am not 100% right now. You know what, 100%? This lady is 100% because I know you guys love her, and she's making her way out, and she's got a very impressive entrance for that. Wow, look what an entrance. This lady right here, entering like a true star. Look at the camera on her. Look at the fans having their eyes glued to her. Nikkita Lyons, even though she's on NXT, she's the whole damn show. Look at her. A lot of love. Look at that. Victor has his heart's pouring in for Nikkita. Look at Too Sweet Pistol Pete. Thicker than a snicker. That's right. That is what Nikkita Lyons is all about. Lots of love for Nikkita, without a shadow of a doubt. And Victor says, up next is Nikkita Lyons and Lash Legend. Again, Lash Legend, I know, very loved as well. You know, I know Bobby has a lot of love for Lash Legend. I think she's a great competitor. I think Nikkita Lyons great. This is going to be a good match overall. And True says, those buckles might pop. That's right. That's right. She is impressive. You know, I mean, visually and also in the ring, she can go out there, and that is what really stands out about Nikkita. She's not just all looks, she's not just all appearance, but she is more than that, which makes her stand out without a shadow of a doubt. And Jonathan, just like you said, the question that you posed right there, is Roman Reigns gotta be considered the greatest champion or greatest of all time, or is it still too early? I would like to ask everybody here, what do you think about this question from Jonathan, which is a great question. Is Roman Reigns gotta be considered the greatest of all time, or is it still too early? Let us know, what do you think? But for me, if I had to think about it, if I had to give my views on it, I would say maybe, Roman Reigns is one of the very best out there right now, the best out there. But the greatest of all time, it's a very big statement, and I think he is on his way there. Maybe a year more, or maybe, maybe a year more, and he'll be able to cement himself as one of the greatest. His match, which we have heard, is going to be against The Rock at WrestleMania 39. It's in the process. The Rock wants it. WWE wants it. Roman Reigns wants it. It's written in the stars. It will happen in Hollywood next year. And I think that match could cement his legacy. That match could really establish him as the guy. That match could make him the greatest of all time. So he is definitely good. He is definitely getting pushed like he's the best, and he deserves that. I mean, he's great. But the greatest of all time, I think that's a very big statement. And I think a year more, and we will find out. But, he has an impressive resume. I mean, 6 WrestleMania main events in his very brief career so far. Amazing stuff. He's done the unthinkable. He's done things that only people can dream of. 6 main events. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6. That is impressive. She's cornbread fed. There you go, True. Look at that. Bobby says that he is rooting for Lash Legend. I love that. And Too Sweet says, I think AJ is in love too. You know what? I'll tell you, she's a very talented lady, and I can appreciate talent and beauty. That's what I'll say. She's a combination of both, which is great. And Victor says, every time Nikkita Lyons pins someone, I steal Dolph Ziggler line. It should have been me. That's right. I think everybody here can agree. Should have been me, right, Nikkita? Should have been us. True says, technically, Roman isn't close to the title reign. The San Martino or Buckland or even... Oh, that's right. That's what I'm talking about. And again, I want to look at, of course, Roman Reigns is fantastic. I am enjoying his title reign. I am enjoying the bloodline a lot, right? I appreciate Roman Reigns. I acknowledge him as the tribal chief. He's fantastic. But the question is, if you want to be called the greatest of all time, I want to look at you and only you. I don't want to look at the bloodline. I don't want to look at the creative. I don't want to look at how you're being pushed. I don't want to look at your manager. I just want to look at you and your solo performance. And the question here is Roman Reigns going to be just as over without Paul Heyman, without Jimmy or Jey Uso by his side? Roman Reigns coming out down that ramp all by himself, without Paul or without anybody else. Is he going to be that over? Is he going to be that good without anybody by his side? That is the question. Without Paul, without anybody else, is he going to be the greatest? That is the question. That is the question that I have in mind. I'm going to be a question that I'll pose to all of you. And before you call Roman the greatest or one of the best out there, imagine him making that entrance without Paul, without the Usos, that entrance down the ramp on SmackDown. What do you think? What do you think about that? Victor says greatest of all time, hands down, the 16-time world champion. That is Ric Flair, 100%. Victor, I agree. And I was about to do a woo right there, but my throat is not feeling it, so I'm not going to try it. This is going to be very awkward, but I'll tell you, the thing that's happened with my throat, yesterday I could not speak, which is why I couldn't do a Watchalong for a Raw, which I always do, but I couldn't speak, literally couldn't speak. So that was interesting, but here we are, and I'm loving this right now. Watching NXT, it's a fantastic show, and watching with all of you is a pleasure. But it's nothing new for me, because every time I go to a WWE show, Madison Square Garden, Barclays Center, I always come back without my voice, because as a very passionate wrestling fan, I go out there with the chants and the cheers. I'm the guy who starts a lot of chants in the arena, so it wasn't so surprising. But now that I do watch-alongs and commentary, I gotta take better care of my throat for sure. But I must tell you, it's a privilege for me to do these watch-alongs and to watch these shows with you. You make it a lot more entertaining for me, as I hope I make it for you. And look at that, Lash Legend looking like $1 million, making her way to the ring. This is gonna be a good match. Nikkita Lyons is facing a very big challenge in the form of Lash Legend. This is going to be an interesting one, and I can tell that the audience is already going to be in two parts right here, because Nikkita Lyons has a lot of fans, but Lash Legend also has a very good amount of fans already, so this is going to be a good one. Too Sweet says, to be the best, you got to beat the best, brother. That's right, Too Sweet, and that is what, Gunther told Bron Breakker as well early on. He said, you cannot call yourself the best without actually beating the best. To be the man, you gotta beat the man, as Ric Flair said. So let's see if that's gonna happen. And Nikkita can fight for real life. That's right, that's what about her. She's a performer, she's an entertainer, she can sing, she can dance, she can fight. She's got it all going. She's a fighter. I'm not too sure if you saw her, use those those weapons right there. In a backstage promo, in a backstage segment, she actually showed off some martial arts skills with those things. So, she can really go out there. She's very, very impressive, and got the moves. And right now, right off the bat, Lash Legend seems to be the one in control. She's the one who got the first hit. Nikkita Lyons goes down first, but Lash Legend and Nikkita Lyons, if you look at the way they're built, very similar. Nikkita Lyons, obviously, the thicker lady in the ring, but both of them similar. Oh, wow. Nikkita Lyons is going to go for a suplex on Lash Legend. I don't know if that's going to be very easy, because Lash Legend is just, stronger, bigger. It's not going to be, she's not an easy woman to be actually brought down like that. Nikkita Lyons with a big clothesline to Legend, and Legend goes down. And with the kick, Legend gets out of the way right there. Oh, wow. Nikkita Lyons is now going for, oh, wow. That was a big, big boot from Lash Legend, and Nikkita Lyons goes right down. I don't know if we've seen anybody dominate Nikkita Lyons in the squared circle the way Lash Legend has been dominating her so far. This is impressive. Izzy saying, I'm sorry, me and my family went out to, no problem, Izzy, it's good to see you, welcome back. You're right in time, because right now we're seeing Nikkita Lyons and Lash Legend one-on-one, and as we can see, Lash Legend is actually dominating. She's actually looking super impressive. Nikkita Lyons is getting the best out of her at this very, very moment. Jonathan says, a fair fight. I can't see Roman losing. However, a match including weapons, then there's a possibility. I agree, Jonathan, 100%. Let's see how it all goes down. But with weapons, anything can happen. I like Taryn Terrell says Bobby. Again, legend indeed. King Coda is miffed at Mandy already. She is. I don't know if she's miffed at Mandy. I don't know if she's unhappy about her losing the titles or about Mandy attacking her good friend, the Wendy Chu, the lady in pajamas. But Dakota Kai needs some therapy because she seems to lose control of her temperament, and all that kind of stuff, getting the best out of her emotions. So she needs therapy for sure. And Too Sweet says Lash, nice too, absolutely. Look at that right now. I mean, Nikkita Lyons is being dominated in the ring that we've never seen before. Never seen her being dominated like this ever. But Lash Legend is bringing her A game. Nikkita Lyons with the reversal, with the elbow to the face of Lash. Lash was gonna go for a big punch. Also, Nikkita gets, oh my gosh, a big suplex to Lash. Not one of the most beautiful suplexes ever, but a decent suplex from Nikkita to Lash, and down goes Lash, and she's tending to her back. I think she's hurt. She's in pain. Nikkita Lyons is crawling to the ring ropes. She's crawling to the ropes, trying to get up, and she gets up as we speak right now. Nikkita Lyons is in control. Lash was going to go for a big punch. She gets out of the way, and wow. Yes, Nikkita Lyons, just like you guys said earlier, that she can fight in real life, and when she actually moves in the ring, you don't see just a wrestler, a lady who's been trained in wrestling, but you can see a fighter wrestling. She brings her moves, her experience from, her history in the past, professional fighter or whatever she's done in the past. I think she's been trained in judo or MMA, so she brings those in, and her moveset actually show off her experience from before wrestling, which is super duper impressive. And Victor says, one of the Nikkita Lyons straps have been popped. No way. Have they been? Oh, what a catastrophe. I hope she's okay. Let's see. Wow, Victor really paying attention. Oh, well, I see it now. Actually, not one, but both of them. Both of the straps have popped on both sides. Wow. Victor, that is a very good pick right there. And I'm pretty sure, yes, right. True says it true. And True said it earlier. He said, I'm pretty sure something's going to pop, and you can see it. The leg buckles have popped on both the sides. Impressive. What a catastrophe that is. What a superplex that was. That's right, Victor. What a beautiful one right there. Great stuff. Nikkita Lyons, Lash Legend, they're tearing the house down. Perhaps the best wrestling match that we've seen all night. I think so. This is super good. And Nikkita Lyons, Lash Legend was going to go for a big roll-up right there, was looking to steal the win, but Nikkita Lyons with the kick out right there, and she doesn't look too bothered about those straps. She's bringing her A game with the big and hard hits, a round kick right there to Lash Legend's gut, and she is going for a big, wow, she's going to go for that pinfall, for the cover. Is it over? It is over. It's over just like that. Thicker than a snicker, Nikkita Lyons wins, and I can tell you, nobody blinked through the entire... I'm going to ask you all a question. Ask yourselves a question, guys. Did you blink even once during that match? I'm pretty sure you did not. I did not, and I can blink a lot, but I did not blink during that match. That was great. Good stuff. Great action from Nikkita as well as Lash. Nikkita brought her A game, and she is still going strong, still keeps her streak alive. Nikkita Lyons is undefeated and so good, so good. Look at that. Nikkita Lyons is great. What a performer, what an entertainer, and could be a very, very big star in the WWE. Nikkita is creating OnlyFans content, that's right, in the wrestling ring, that too. And Tony Deangelo is headed outside in the parking lot. Wait a second.
Congratulations on becoming the Don of NXT. I appreciate it.
Look at that.
Santos Escobar is no stranger to being a boss, a jefe, a patron.
Alright, so it seems like Escobar and Tony Deangelo are getting on the same page here.
Business out of Legado's business, and everything is okay.
A possible feud here? Wow, it looks like a possible feud because we know Escobar is the Don of NXT. We've known him. He's never claimed it, but we've known it, and he's the Don. He's the dude of NXT. And he says, hey, congratulations, Tony Deangelo, for being the Don of NXT, but as long as you're away from the Escobar family, you're good. Now, Tony D'Angelo didn't respond to that in a positive note. He just kept silent, and Escobar, also showed resistance and walked away. I guess a possible feud between Tony D'Angelo and Escobar, I'm in for it. And speaking of being in for it, I am in for this damn main event because we have Gunther and we have Bron Breakker with the NXT Tag Team, NXT World Championship on the line. This match is the main event of the show. What an impressive show so far. Okay, are you kidding me? The show has been going on for about an hour and 40 minutes already. This is a joke, because it seems like the show has only been going on for about a few minutes. I've had a lot of fun covering the show, watching the show. We talk about Raw after WrestleMania being one of the best. This was one of the best shows that we've seen in a long time from NXT. Good stuff. One of the best shows, I believe, ever since the revamp happened. Very good. It just flew by. Beautiful stuff. I loved tonight's NXT. Without a shadow of a doubt, I loved it. And I hope that you guys like it too, because this has been a good show. No hell no. No blinks. There you go, Victor. I knew it, brother. I knew you too. I know all of you too well. You're just like me. Nobody blinks when they see Lash Legend and Nikkita Lyons in the ring. Great stuff. Am I seeing a face turn already? Perhaps. Perhaps you are. I thought so too. It looks like it. Utter domination from Mrs. Lyons right there. That's right, Jonathan. Absolutely. Absolute domination. Is she Mrs. already? I wasn't sure. I thought she was a Miss. Is she Mrs.? If she is, then that's gonna break a lot of hearts for sure, Jonathan. Gary thought you got to love a girl with, oh yeah, that's right. That's right. And a girl with a good personality and charisma and talent. And it looks like she's got them all. She's got a good personality. She's got a good charisma, very good charisma. And she's got good talent. I mean, she can go in the ring. She can fight. That superplex is beautiful. The finisher is beautiful. That cover, the pinfall, is tremendous. And you know it already. So Nikkita Lyons is going to be a big star. Now the question is, what are they going to do with her on the main roster? Because main roster is a more of a PG product. We know that. I mean, WWE is a more family-oriented shows when it comes to the main roster. Kids watch it, adults watch it, teenagers watch it, moms, dads, grandparents, everybody watches the WWE all across the globe. So is Nikkita Lyons going to be, settled down? She's going to be toned down? Is the attire going to be worked upon when she goes up to the main roster? We'll have to see. It's going to be interesting for sure, though. And True says Walter vs. Braun Steiner is up next. That's right. I hope that he gets his name Steiner back, or at least he gets it in the first place, because he literally went out there, inducted his dad and his uncle to the Hall of Fame, and it's no secret that this guy's a Steiner. So let's have him get his name back. Let's do it. Victor says Gunther vs. Bron Breakker next. Tony says Santos Escobar turning face. Is your face and in your face, Andrade? That's right. And I've said this all the time. I think Escobar is what Andrade always wanted to be. Even though Andrade is pretty damn good and he's a legend in his own senses, I don't think that Andrade is any less than Escobar. But with the whole thing that is going on right now with Escobar, fantastic. The whole family office, the whole team is great. The storytelling, the way they carry themselves is beautiful. And I think that's what Andrade wanted to do. But has failed to a certain extent. But Andrade himself, all by himself, is beautiful. Izzy says, who else wants Tommaso to debut on SmackDown this week? I do. I think Tommaso on SmackDown would be fantastic. I think he'd be a star on SmackDown. And I would imagine Tommaso, back in 2010, when that championship was still around, I would have loved to see Tommaso Ciampa with the big gold belt on SmackDown. But even now, as one of the champions, maybe as an Intercontinental Champion, I'd like that. But right now, since Roman is holding both the Universal and the WWE Championship, I think that kind of closes the door on other people to win the championship, because I cannot imagine Roman dropping those titles anytime soon and dropping it to just anybody. It has to be somebody very, very significant. But let's see who that's going to be. And Bobby says, I like Avi Nile. She's very good indeed, Bobby. Very, very good. Victor says, I second guessing myself since we got new tag team women's champion. Could Gunther win the NXT title? I would love that, Victor. And this is, one of the dream matches for me. Gunther, Bron Breakker. Gunther and Brock Lesnar, also a dream match for me. I hope that we get that soon as well. But I don't think we're going to be having Gunther as much as I'd like for it to happen. I don't think it's going to happen because early on in the show, we saw a clash between the Imperium, and in that backstage segment also, with Gunther and his buddy, we saw that the clash was still going on, and they weren't too happy about it. So we could perhaps be seeing an interference, a distraction, a disqualification taking place in the main event. I don't think it's going to be a very straightforward, a simple, and a clean main event. I think there's going to be some dirty work that's going to be involved for sure. Unless it's Ciampa versus Ricochet, Ciampa should join Edge. Now, speaking of Edge, true. I think Brody King, he got on Twitter not too long ago, and he said, this is what happens when you order the House of Black on Wish.com. So he went out there and he wrote down this tweet along with the picture of Edge and his buddy, and Edge forming a new faction along with Damian Priest, So basically he called Edge and Damian Priest and their faction a downgrade and a ripoff of the House of Black. Now, I don't know if that's a good idea, because Edge is a Hall of Famer. Edge is somebody who everybody loves and respects. Edge is somebody who I'm pretty sure all of the House of Black members grew up watching and loving. So to go out there on social media and downplay Edge like that, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a good look. So anyways, what do you think? Is the new thing that Edge is coming up with, is it a ripoff? And that too a bad ripoff of the House of Black? Or do you think otherwise? Let us know what you think. And speaking of that, look at Gunther looking angry as he stands in the ring. And I would be angry too. If the WWE made me come out like that and made me wait for 10 minutes for the commercials to go off, I would be very, very angry too. And there you go, the champion coming out now. We got Bron Breakker making his way to the ring, and we're going to be in for a NXT World Title match, NXT Championship. It is going to be Bron Breakker versus Gunther for the NXT title. And this is just one day after Bron Breakker actually retains or wins his NXT Championship on Raw. A big match for him indeed. And the next day, the next night itself, he is defending it against Gunther. Let's see how it all turns out. And Izzy says, like Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania 939. That's right, absolutely. I think so. 100%. AJ, you should interview Aiden Prince. Already did Aiden English, but Aiden Prince is a good name. I would like that, Bobby. I'll write it down and reach out. Of course, we're going to be having the interview with Impact Wrestling star Bhupinder Gujjar. He's going to be coming out this weekend, and Bhupinder Gujjar has actually got some big news coming for the fans, and he's got some big news in that interview that he's going to be breaking down. So I'm looking forward to that interview, and I hope that you guys enjoy it as well. Gunther looking like a star. I mean, you can look at this guy and you can't tell that this guy needs props. He needs nothing else. All he needs is himself, right? I mean, he's not wearing a colorful vest. He doesn't wear any fancy t-shirts. All he shows up in is the trunks, and that's about it. No knee pads, no elbow pads, no gloves. Gunther needs nothing like that. He is a monster in itself, and that's why I cannot wait for Gunther versus Brock Lesnar. A bare knuckles fight, no elbow pads, no gloves, just both of them going at it. I love that. And Gunther is easily dwarfing Bron Breakker from the right of the bat. Bron Breakker trying to get control. Both of them lock in right now. Gunther, interesting. This is somewhat of a technical start to the match. Gunther is analyzing his opponent right now as we speak. They're circling around the ring. They lock it up once again. Let's see who's going to get the upper hand, who's going to get the first laugh in the match as we speak. Bron Breakker is trying to gain control. Gunther actually with his giant arms around the head of Breakker. Breakker now grabs onto his left arm. Gunther trying to gain control once again, but Breakker with a headlock. And they are against the ropes right now. The referee counting down till 3. And there we go. Okay. Wow, Gunther with a big chop to the face of Breakker and gets him down into a headlock. I guess, let's see. And Breakker does the same. Now in a headlock. Gunther in a headlock. Breakker has him in control. Let's see. Gunther's face turning red slowly, but I guess it was Gunther who got the first laugh because he was the first guy to get Breakker down. So Gunther gets the first laugh, even though for a very brief moment. But Gunther right now is So far looking so good, not too bad, not too shabby, apart from the fact that Breakker has him in a headlock and he's just not getting rid of it. But apart from that, so far so good. Renegade says, AJ, Breakker will not drop the title tonight. I don't think so either. I agree with you, Renegade. He cannot. He just cannot. But everybody in the comments, let us know, who do you think is going to walk away champion tonight? Is it going to be Gunther? Is it going to be Breakker? Let us know. And wow, Gunther with a big, huge and giant chop to the chest of Breakker as we speak. Breakker doesn't look too happy. Looks angry. And Gunther actually very impressive. A very big boot right into the face of Breakker. And Breakker goes down. The referee is checking on him, seeing if he can continue the match. Gunther says, get up, Breakker, get up, champion. You think you're a champion? Pull off a match like a true champion. And Breakker is struggling to get up, and Gunther helps him up actually. That's a very gentleman right there. Trying to help his opponent up to his feet. A big blow to the back, and Breakker is struggling to gain his composure. And Gunther with a big punch to the chest right now. Breakker is seeing stars as Gunther gets him down once again. A big kick to the shoulder. Breakker is damaged. Because if you look at Gunther and the way he's actually pulling off all the offense, he's going after Breakker bit by bit, limb by limb. He's working on every single part of his body. The shoulder, the back, the gut, the top of the head as we just saw right now. But Breakker realizes what's happening. He realizes what's at stake, and he is trying to pull off his 110% right now as he side Gunther right into that corner, and he went for the gut right there. Gunther now once again trying to regain control with an Irish whip to Breakker into the corner. Breakker turns it around, and with a spine buster, Gunther goes right down. Breakker in control, and is he feeling it? He's feeling it. He's gonna feel it right now. Look at that. Renegade says Braun is gonna win. Jonathan says, I would not be surprised if Edge wanted a hint at one of the Roman titles. God forbid a Goldberg returns. Come on, no. Jonathan, no, don't even give those ideas to the WWE right now. We don't want Goldberg back, especially to take away one of the titles of Roman Reigns. Goldberg, stay away. Please, stay away. And Breakker actually gets off his, straps down. And you know what happens when the straps come down? It means all hell is gonna unleash. Breakker gets Gunther up, but not for too long. Gunther, way too smart, outsmarts Breakker just like that. Breakker is really feeling the consequences. If Dolph Ziggler was a big challenge for Breakker, this is gonna be a much bigger challenge, both literally and if we look at that. Wow, another big chop to the chest of Breakker, and Breakker goes down. Right down there. Look at that. That is not a champion. That is not how a champion should look like right now, you know. It should not be that way. And Gunther sends him flying into the steel steps, head first, shoulder first. And Breakker is down and he looks out. This is not how a champion should be carrying a match. Gunther is dominating as we speak. I bet Regal loved Walter. I can imagine, true. I think Walter has all the check boxes ticked that would make him a William Regal guy. I'm pretty sure he will have loved him. Bobby says, my dream match is Tony Storm versus Hikaru Shida. That's a very interesting match. Could happen too. Tony Storm in AEW now. It could happen. And true, Regal. Speaking of Regal, I mean, I have a story to share that really goes on to show what a guy William Regal is. I had the opportunity and the pleasure of having Authors of Pain on my podcast just past weekend. Of course, this past week was a big week for us. We had Authors of Pain, we had Mickie James, and we had former WWE champion or current star Jinder Mahal on the podcast to talk about their upcoming matches. And Authors of Pain was, they told me a story about William Regal that made me smile. He was like, William Regal was so interested and really saw big things for Zim, who of course is I believe Akam in AEW. He saw big things for Akam in WWE. In AOP before he even got signed by the company. And when he saw him at the Performance Center, he was like, you know what? I think you're gonna be big in the company. You're gonna do big. So I want you to cut promos. I want you to cut promos every single day on random superstars and record them on your phone and send them over to me. And Akam, what he used to do was that he used to, get in his bathroom in front of a mirror, and he used to cut promos, for himself, recording it on camera, promos on Brock Lesnar, promos on, John Cena, all these people, and he used to send them to William Regal every single day. And William Regal used to review them every single day out of his own personal time, and used to tell him things to work on or how he was doing. So it really goes on to show, stories like these go on to show that William Regal truly cared about his talent. He just didn't care about them from his 9 to 5 job while he was at the Performance Center, but he cared about his talent every single day around the clock. He asked them to, record themselves cutting promos in front of the mirrors and whatnot. I mean, this guy was severely interested and was super excited about the future of WWE and NXT. And it's sad that they let go of him the way they did, very unceremoniously. William Regal deserves to be celebrated, deserves to be celebrated big time, but the way he just got let go, this heartbreaking to say the least. And look at that right here. Volta, or should I say Gunther, is actually, it's so hard not to call him Volta. I try every time, but I fail every once in a while. And Gunther is in control. Bron Breakker is actually broken up right now because Volta or Gunther is going limb by limb, as we can see right here, working on that right shoulder, the right arm, and Bron Breakker actually trying to turn it around with a big punch to the face, 2 punches, but the more he punches Gunther, the worse it gets for Breakker. And Gunther with a very big chop to the chest of Breakker. Breakker's hurt, but Gunther is ready. He's ready to go. And Dale says Breakker has to retain the title. Bobby says Breakker has to retain the title. Brock would dominate Gunther. Sorry, but that's reality. Yeah, and especially with this shape now, right? Gunther has slimmed down, obviously. He's shedding some pounds. So with this shape, it would be definitely Bron Breakker winning. But look at that suplex. We just saw a beautiful suplex from Gunther to Breakker, and I can only imagine Gunther delivering that kind of suplex to Brock Lesnar. I think that'd be a thing of beauty. That would have people talking. That will go people around the arena going, woo, what just happened, right? That'd be beautiful. So Gunther versus Brock Lesnar would definitely make for a good match. And Breakker also delivered a spear a suplex to Gunther right here, but it didn't have the same impact as Gunther delivering that suplex to Breakker. That was a big suplex right there. And True says that Steiner retains. I love Steiner. Super spear. That's right, Renegade. Spear did happen. Beautiful stuff. And as we can see here, Breakker is in control. Clay is here. Good to see you, Clay. I acknowledge you. And Bayley didn't show up at WrestleMania. I'm not too sure what is she gonna be here, but we miss her. Bobby says, I'm excited to watch Mandy Rose versus Dakota Kai next week on 2.0 for the... Oh, absolutely. Bobby. It's going to be happening. All of that's going to be happening. The Watchalong, the Mandy versus Kai, it's going to be happening. And Jason says Walter is going to win. And I hope so, Jason. You know, I'm a big Walter guy. I'm a big Gunther guy. So I'd like for him to win. Even though Bron Breakker is fantastic, I think Walter deserves a victory, a big victory here. And with the arm lock locked in right now, Breakker has been struggling. As the first night of him as a champion, as a 2-time champion, this hasn't been a very good night for Bron Breakker. He is coming across as a weaker link in this match for sure. I mean, yes, he's trying to turn the tables around. I'm pretty sure he will eventually. But really having a hard time here against Gunther. And, of course, we saw Gunther working on that right shoulder of Bron Breakker throughout a big time of this match, big portion of this match. We saw Gunther really going after that shoulder. And in the final moves of this match as well, I say final moves because we are going to go off in about, 5-6 minutes now. This show is going to go off in 5-6 minutes. And we can see Breakker, tending to his shoulder right there. He's in pain. And the shoulder is really not supporting him. Gunther's in control. He's looking to finish it. And as I said earlier, I'm expecting somebody to come in, somebody to interfere. And that was a kick out from Breakker, even though that would have been surprising on a regular day. I'm not too surprised here because I am expecting an interference from the Imperium members, one of the Imperium members at least. And there could be a disqualification, could be a distraction. But I don't think this match is going to go down clean. And sadly, I don't see Gunther winning it, but let's see how it happens here. Renegade says AJ Breakker has to beat Gunther. Gunther has to look better than Breakker before Breakker wins. I do agree. Yeah, I do agree. I mean, Breakker is literally, just entering his second reign as the NXT champion. He has to look good. He has to win. But as we can see here, and also just like you said, Gunther is looking good. He's looking good. Breakker is looking weak, but it won't be a surprise when he wins. He has to win. For sure he has to win. Renegade says Breakker just can't dominate Gunther. That's true. Renegade, valid point right there. Bobby says AJ Hikaru Shida is wrestling tomorrow on Dynamite. Beautiful. So Shida, in a match, just like you said, against Tony Storm, is not far from being a reality. It could be happening anytime now. And let's see what does AEW have in store for Tony Storm tomorrow. It's going to be interesting. And Walter is looking to fly. He's getting to the apron and now climbing the top turnbuckle. The referee asking him to get down, which I think is a very advisable and a very smart choice. These high-risk maneuvers barely pay off. And there we go, it does not pay off right there as Gunther went flying down, and midway through, Breakker delivered a devastating spear to Gunther and probably breaking him in the process. And Bron Breakker getting Gunther and up. He's gonna get him up. Oh wait, wow. Did you see that? That was a no-sell from Gunther as he recovers from that spear a bit too fast. And with a big and devastating chop to Breakker, not one, but two. And not two, but three big and devastating chops. I mean, I'm looking at the chop right here, and I am actually feeling very uncomfortable. I feel like I have some pain in my chest, because those are some heavy-hitting chops. And once again, with the sleeper hold locked in, look at Gunther's arms, the pure and big arms of Gunther, when they are locked in. And, he's putting somebody to sleep. The guy really goes to sleep. But sadly, this one is not locked in properly. I think Breakker should be able to, break it up, and he does. Gunther is feeling the effects of Bron Breakker right now as he goes for a big clothesline. Down goes Gunther. Breakker is finally in control. Lifts. Wow, this is a sight to be cherished for a while. He lifts Gunther up in his arms in the air and gets him down to win clean. There you go. Victor says bro wins. Monumental win by Breakker. Just the sight of him lifting up Gunther like that is huge, is beautiful. And with that being said, you were right. Renegade, you were right. You guys were right, even though this is a dream match for me. It didn't end the way I would have wanted for it to end, but we all knew it all along that Breakker had to win. I thought we would be seeing an interference or, an interruption by somebody. Didn't see that happening. And Breakker actually with a big win here. I mean, nothing tells you that you're over. I mean, they literally fed him, Gunther, one of the biggest stars of NXT, and he just got fed to Breakker. Even though Gunther looked like an absolute star, at the end of the day, he gets fed to Breakker, and that proves how over Breakker is, and he's just gonna get over and over, and he's gonna be a mega star, the face of NXT 2.0 if he wasn't already. Look at that. That's right, Bobby. Breakker wins. And after the Hall of Fame appearance, after the Raw appearance, the Raw debut, a lot more eyes are on NXT and a lot more eyes are on Breakker. And they're going to be watching him, and they're going to be, taking a closer look at his journey as he goes down as one of the historic and possibly the longest reigning NXT champions ever. This title run could be the longest reigning of Bron Breakker's. What's happening here? Wait a second.
Victor, son, I'm proud of you.
What? What is happening? Are you kidding me? What the hell? Oh my gosh.
Family was everything.
What the hell? Oh my, that's right. Crap.
Let's see if we can teach this old dog
What?
some new tricks.
Oh dear. Crazy. Wow. Speak of that being a monumental victory, what a movement. Just as we were going off NXT, off the air, Gacy comes out and he's backstage and he's got Breakker's dad locked in a steel cage in a shark tank, whatever that was, but they've locked him inside a cell, inside a cage, and they're torturing him and they've bounded him. Wow, crazy. Now, what's going to happen? Is Breakker going to go after Gacy? What does he want? Does he want money? Does he want gold? What's going to happen? Gacy versus Breakker in the future? A future feud? That's crazy. Let's see how it all goes down, but that is incredible. Absolutely has my interest peaked. I can't wait for next week to see how this all goes down. I hope that Bron Breakker is able to save his dad, or at least call 911, because that did not look like a very safe working environment. Wherever Gacy is, Breakker needs to get to him, or at least inform, the people in charge and get his dad out there, and get him to safety. I hope that happens. But before that, we're going to be seeing how this all unfolds next week on NXT 2.0. I guess Gacy wants his gold. He wants his NXT title. And in exchange, he's going to get his dad back. We're going to find out how that happens. Also, if Scott Steiner is going to get involved in some way. Let's see how that happens. Also, I would also like to mention the fact that now that we have Steiner's on board on NXT, Bron Breakker's own dad appearing on NXT, I guess we're not too far away from Breakker finally being a Steiner in the future. It's written in the stars. It's gotta happen. He's gotta get his Steiner name back. And let's get the ratings in for tonight's show, guys, because tonight, I feel like this was one of the best shows that NXT 2.0 has put on ever since its revamp. Truly a very welcoming and a very nice show, NXT show after Stand and Deliver or after WrestleMania. Beautiful show, great storytelling, beautiful Nikkita Lyons, Lash Legend, all the stuff that we saw tonight. Toxic Attraction winning, Bron Breakker retaining. I was happy with the results. It was great. I'm going to give it a solid 9.5 out of 10. I loved it. I loved it from the start to the beginning. And I can tell you what, I've got my voice back. Actually, before I got on here, my voice wasn't here, but I'm here now. And I'll tell you, my voice is almost here too. So I'm very happy. 9.5 out of 10 for me. And I say it all the time. You guys are the best. And you guys make it so entertaining for me as I hope I make it for you. And Bobby gives it a 10 out of 10. I love that, Bobby. Tony says, Gacy, son of a... That's right. That is so crazy. A son of a to be continued. That's right, Tony. Oh crap, says Victor. 8 out of 10 from Dale. I love that. They have Rick locked up. That's right, it's horrible. I hope that somebody gets to Gacy and at least gets his dad to safety. We will find out how all of this goes down. Victor says maybe Big Papa Pump. That's what I'm talking about. We want Big Papa Pump. Hopefully that happens. Jonathan says, what is next? WWE main event, Hell in a Cell, or maybe a Shark Tank match. Maybe we're gonna see a Breakker versus Gacy with his father suspended up in a Shark Tank. We'll see how that all goes down. It's gotta be very, very interesting. Jonathan says, I'm gonna give it a BS. Sorry. That was an 8.5. What's happened to my eyes? I thought that was a BS. Okay, 8.5. I love that, Jonathan. I love that. 8.5. Beautiful. That's right. On Evil. Dennis is on Evil. You guys have fun. Watch NXT. Watch WWE Evil. Have a great time. I'm going to be seeing you all tomorrow for AEW Dynamite. And as always, round the clock for news right here on the channel. Jason gives it an 8. NXT 2.0 was better than Raw, says Renegade. Yeah, it was good. It was really good. But Raw, also interesting. Let's see how it all goes down next week. Veer is here. Cody Rhodes is here. All the big stars are here. Let's see how it all goes down. Jason gives it an 8. And True gives it a 7.9. So I guess the average rating for tonight is definitely a 7. Everybody gives it above a 7, which is beautiful. Good stuff. Good show tonight. I hope you all enjoyed the watch-along. I hope you enjoyed the NXT. It's a fabulous show. And as always, I'm going to be seeing you tomorrow for the watch-along for AEW Dynamite. I want all of you to have a great night, sleep well, get some rest, because we are officially on the road to WrestleMania Backlash, and we're here for a lot of fun. Jay gives it a 7. Awesome. Great stuff, guys. You all have a good night. Take care. What is Dennis on WWE Evil? That's right. Right. WWE Evil going down right now. Yes, it is airing on the network, on the USA Network as we speak. You can check it out. Jonathan says, see you, man. Take care. Thank you so much, guys. You all have a great night. You take care. Get some sleep. I'll see you tomorrow for AEW Dynamite. Thank you, Jonathan, for the love. Thank you, everybody, for the love. Yes, Dynamite tomorrow is going to be great. Samoa Joe, Tony Storm, lots of craziness. Let's see how it all goes down. Until then, you all have a good night. Sleep well. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thank you, guys. Raw would have been better with you, AJ. You melt my heart, Renegade. Thank you for the love. Yes, we'll be here tomorrow for next week for Raw, and tomorrow and every single day of the week for every single show. And I'll tell you what, these shows are never fun without you. So I have a hard time watching any show without you guys. You guys are the best. Make it very, very enjoyable for me. Thank you. Have a good night. See you.